Hey, welcome back to Métropole Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's February 20th, 2025. It's a Thursday evening. Today, we're going to be discussing the news and playing a couple games on Jinteki. Cole, wait, what? How'd you get that? And we're live. How's it going? We started 2 minutes early. I can do that, apparently. I'm just in charge. Daojan, how you doing? Ed, welcome to the stream. There's news. Cool. Haven't seen any news since the social media exodus. There's a lot of news out there. There's some really big news today. In fact, some really, really big news. We'll kind of just like dance around that a bit, maybe. We'll get to it. NSG should trigger some leaks to creators so the discussion of the week is in which organ the Silk building is most resembling. Oh, that discussion's coming back. That discussion comes back in a really big way today. I hope you haven't had too much of that discussion. Urethra. Friday stream Ether. How's it going? It's a Thursday. You doing well? It might be a Friday stream for you. Just about, honestly. Yo, Rushy, how's it going? You ready for districts this weekend? Hopefully, there's a lot of districts this weekend. Pretty exciting. Not around here exactly. I have to get a date for my district. I really should do that sooner than later. I should have done it by now, let's be honest. I feel really overwhelmed today. I don't know why. Just like constantly stressed, and I'm not sure. I think we have everything largely under control. Good news, we did some game recording yesterday with a cool new deck, and the footage was really good. So we're going to edit that together and actually have some like JNet gameplay on the channel. That's fantastic. The streaming space is set up properly. We might do a little test stream either maybe today, maybe not today, tomorrow, maybe up to Monday. Shout out to the sister channel, the Crash Space. You can always follow that if you want. Let me just throw that in the chat. If you want it, it's there. But we will. You can't just say urethra. I did. Yeah, if the new Marvel Champion set comes out tomorrow, maybe we'll see play on this channel. I don't know. Who knows? There's no way of telling. Hopefully everyone's doing okay. Cror, how you doing? Hey, Lucy Andre joining to the most epic soundtrack like he's Paul Atreides. That one's called a Cyberpunk Sunrise, and you might have a guess how I found that on my licensing website. So what you're saying, Andre, is the stream will be derailed after news into an Arkham stream. No, there's no Arkham news today. I did Trash or Busta with my playtesting group for Arkham cards yesterday, and after it, I got off the call. It was like 3 hours or whatever. And Maddie was like, were there other people on the stream? You were just talking on the call? Were there other people on the call? You were talking through all of it. And I'm like, I am so embarrassed. Hopefully everyone had a good time. Hoodie building hype. Hey, how's it going, Oxidate? It's 2:49 a.m. in the Netherlands. Just played about 6 hours of Netrunner, and then when I got home started, oh my god, no sleep. The stream started. Yo, are you at a like just locals on a Thursday evening? That's sick. 6 hours an hour and it's not too bad. Hopefully get some sleep. I have a district, 4 G&Ks, and 2 CTs already booked and marketed. Sort your district out. Yo, let's go. What's a CT casual tournament kit? Okay, that makes sense. CTKs. Andre, just want to correct you on a pronunciation. Think. Geelong, one of the districts this week, is pronounced Geelong, not a hard J. Not a hard G. I'm good with soft J's. You want me to do a soft J? Geelong? Did I do it? My name has a soft J in it, but that's a G. So did I do it? I'm doing really bad at a lot of the names in Australia. That's okay. Today we have a deck list of the week, which is one of those deck lists that somebody posts and say, don't do that. And yet people still have to play it. And then people still play on JNet Casual. I ran into people playing this, and shout out to Sobek. Sobek said, haters will say that he took an excellent host list, swapped the ID, and changed 5 cards. And honestly, the haters are correct. Great call from the haters. I think that's really, really funny. This is a crew list. I imagine we took a Hoshiko deck and we changed a couple cards. We added some cards. You want to try and avoid doing that. And then we changed Hoshiko Shiro into Reina Roja, the third oldest Anarch identity of all time in the history of Netrunner. And it's not good text. The problem with Hoshiko is just very good, because Hoshiko draws you a card, gets you a credit every 2 turns or so if you want to cycle in and out. And more people are kind of on that cycle grind, which I appreciate. I think that's cool for that text to be more relevant. And Reina Roja costs the corp 3 credits sometimes. It's a lot worse. And removing card draw from your Anarch deck is something you don't want to do, because getting free cards is like kind of the most busted thing you can do in the game. So Reina Roja is probably not the choice, let alone adding 4 more cards means you're less consistent, especially for a deck that's running like 2 copies of Amakua. You need to find them. And if you don't find your crews, what are you doing? So probably wasn't the right change. Sobek still won all the games, which is great, but we're going to be in the Reina pit today for sure, trying this version out and maybe playing some other Reina stuff as well. But if you're not familiar with this, Tread Lightly goes pretty hard. I think we saw some Tread Lightly, one Tread Lightly in one of the last decks that won the CBI. Crew Hosh was the only Aquaceris crew at the CBI top cut, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't actually that common. And then you have a bunch of other stuff on top of it. Only 2 Lagu, that's kind of cool. We have a Light the Fire, which I believe was in the list that won CBI. We got a full art here. We can enjoy that. It's a really fun full art. And then all your sort of crew stuff you want. There's no other Reina support, unless I'm missing it. So like very common in Reina decks, you'll see something like a Xanadu, and Xanadu just makes ice cost more, which is good because it compounds Reina. It makes it more difficult. But otherwise, it's just like, do you want the corp to have maybe 3 fewer credits? Do you want to like miss 7 to 8 free card draw and a bunch of money? Have an identity for you. Let me catch up on chat. You had it right when you said Geelong. Geelong. Hey, Drop Bear. Geelong. It feels like Cror and Drop Bear are telling me to do something totally different. Geelong. 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 Okay, I think that might be it. I played Sobek on this. He was crushing it. Also said Reina was never relevant. Yeah. No surprise. Not surprise. Actually, surprise. Honestly, I'm surprised. It's a Reina deck. Isn't on Tread Lightly more than if it is. It's weird because like Reina makes Tread Lightly slightly worse, so they probably don't res. I think a lot of people are finding out Tread Lightly is a bit better than you think it is, and it is. It's really, really annoying, especially those like turn 1 run the remote plays, which are super, super common. You know, something or Rashido or an Eminent behind a border control turn 1 into op is like a very common opening that you see in modern Netrunner, and this deals with it really well. The thing is, like, they already play slower against Reina. My guess is Tread Lightly is worse in Reina than somebody else. Because you probably heard me whenever we play against Reina once every like 3 months on here on Metropole Grid. I say we're going to play slower. We're going to be a bit more conservative because we can get blown out if we overextend. Because we're playing around things like en passant and stuff like that. So we want to be slow because we want to make sure we can res all our ice so something bad doesn't happen to us. So in theory, like, it still makes Tread Lightly ugly, playing 4 extra credits, but we're already expecting to pay 1 extra credit, so we've probably already budgeted for that. So if you get me with the Tread Lightly out of Hoshiko, I'm not playing around it. If you do this in Reina, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense, right? Like, it's kind of weird. It's weird how you do the synergistic thing and people are expecting it as opposed to do the like the strange thing. Play snare and HB kind of energy, you know? PMK, I'm doing okay. How you doing? Geelong. I'm afraid NG going to see this Tread Lightly propaganda and think it's good to replace Inside Job. I'm assuming we might actually not get a straight Inside Job replacement. There is a small chance that Inside Job will be replaced by all these things that we have, right? So for the uninitiated, Inside Job is a card that is as old as the hills. The original printing showed Kovacs here in the toilet doing the actual Inside Job, which is really cool. He's coding on it in a bathroom stall. The flavor text is really fun. And then we have obviously the system update version. And this card is like very quintessentially criminal. I did a recap of what the criminal faction was in terms of the color pie, and I forgot to say economic denial. Insert that into the VOD, economic denial. They take your credits. I think we have so many cards in the card pool right now that are Inside Job equivalents, and they all compete for the same slot, and usually, you know, only the best 1.5 seed play. So right now it's Inside Job, and if you ask me, Boomerang. So the question is, does No Signal Games have to reprint Inside Job to put it into system update, or sorry, elevation, so that it's evergreen in startup and standard? And my guess is actually maybe not. Maybe it's okay that that slot actually changes in startup or standard over time, as much as actually it won't because elevation will be in standard. But if it's not an elevation, right, like it'll change with rotation. But we have so many cards that do that thing. Like always have a backup plan is maybe worth considering in some worlds, as much as border control also rotates. And this is the best thing into border control, supposedly. But we have, of course, Boomerang, which is in standard, not in startup. That is kind of Inside Job adjacent. I like this card a lot, as much as there's some other issues potentially. Of course, we have Estabrado, but this is central servers, so I really, really don't like it. And then we have other things like Window of Opportunity. We tried to play this on Tuesday. We didn't. But like this is also another kind of Tread Lightly equivalent. So there's a chance we don't need a 6th Inside Job. Like, I don't know. If there was no Inside Job, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'd be like, yeah, I guess. I'll try and play one of the other cards I've never played. I'm not sure. Okay, but Xanadu was cracked in the standard plus meta in order to shut down You Have 3 credits deck. Yeah, it was really, really good. It was very, very good, that's for sure. Inside Job, my beloved. People really like it. And like, it's still a card you have to play around. Like it shows up as a 2 of in like every 1 in every 2 or 1 in every 3 criminal decks. Like it's still a thing. I don't score behind a single ice in criminal. You can just call it G-Town. That's what the locals do. Oh, okay. For me, it's more than that of people who like Reina like Tread Lightly. Spearside Job bypass the middle ice during the run. Yeah, the second ice. We did have like spear fishing, which was the innermost. We had the outermost. Well, not technically outermost. This is innermost. Inside job, mind you, is the first, whatever is rezzed, because you have to encounter it. And that's why spear fishing wasn't as good as inside job. Hey, Jonathan, off to work today, Australia, but glad to catch a live session. New to the game and totally inspired by your channel. Keep up the good work. Hey, oh, that's very kind. And hopefully your Friday's been okay. Thanks so much for the kind words. It's like a really exciting time. There's a lot of people who have been getting into this game, showing up in the channel. Firstly, hi. How's it going? I know it's a bit of an awkward time right now because of the big rotation, so it's like not a great time to do evergreen content to like get people into the game, because the game like fundamentally really changes in like 62 days or whatever the number is. So apologies for that. It's a weird time, but I'm hoping you're having a good time experiencing the big shift, which will be a treat that you'll talk about in like 4 or 5 years. Remember when we had FFG cards and everyone's like, yeah, inside job, it'll be cool. Hey, Cicada, how's it going? I'd rather have an FAO reprint. Going to miss that card? Yeah, that's actually a really neat card. Forge Activation Orders is uniquely criminal. There's only one card in the whole game that does this. This card saw niche pocket play in certain metas where that was like a thing you wanted to do, but it is also like a very cool criminal card. Every time this comes out, I want to shout out the revised core art, which very few people saw because revised core was an incredibly popular product, but it's one of the few cards where like the card art kind of perfectly nails the card frame with that curvature, and I cannot get over it, as much as I only have like 2 copies of this because you didn't get a full playset in the revised core, which I bought for no reason. Really, really good. Yeah, this is another card that I wanted to, that I really liked. It was awful. It was 11 credit console. Say no more. But it says whenever you expose a card, the corp must res it by paying its res cost available, right? Like the sort of forced res is a very criminal idea that has never really become anything. And I just like this idea. Like, what about if we had a card like this that said you could force the corporation to res ice on your kind of whim, but maybe the costs were cheaper. And so that you actually can kind of leverage them. Be like, oh, you're invited to remote server. I'm going to force you to res all your remote ice and then run centrals. Like you have this sort of like fork. I think it's a very hard thing to balance in a way that's like fun and exciting, but it's a really cool design space to be like, okay, you're going to have to res that now. As much as like FAO just doesn't feel like it does enough for a slot. I would love a FAO type console. Like on a successful run, you could FAO somebody. That'd be cool. Mercury needs more bypass. Oh, Diogen's riling me up. I'll eat my head if always have a backup plan as a solution. Yeah, Crow, I would too. I would honestly, like, yeah, I would eat a hat. Melandra Gem backstitching. Oh yeah, there's more. You're right. Melandra Gem like one day might be cool. It saw play. It like is a niche card in certain cool decks. Backstitching is like not terrible. These mostly see play, unfortunately, just like send a deep dive decks, which like not my kind of bag, but whatever. Melandra Gem is slightly better than I give it credit for. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not awful. I think Melandra Gem is going to get really, really frightening if we get some sort of like very strong run event that you just want to force in the early game. That's not diversion of funds, because I don't think diversion of funds on turn 1 is that great if they ice HQ, but it can matter. In some board states, it can matter a heck of a lot. Always have a proxy backer. Okay, how's it going? I think Esterbata fills the role enough. It does, but it wants you to inside job central servers, which is just like cursed Netrunner, as opposed to inside job the remote server, which is like fun Netrunner. I make the rules around here, so. Spearfishing would pair well with Banhar. Yeah, it would. It kind of would. It'd be cool. I don't think we ever saw that combo together. They might not have been legal at the same time. I don't think they were. Any bypass additions had huge strength to Mercury too, yeah. I have bought everything, FFG and NSG. How did you buy FFG stuff? That's like kind of hard. Also, hopefully you know that in 62 days, those cards are rotating. I'm sorry if you're going to hear it here for the first time, but they're really, really cool cards, regardless, whatever you do with them. It's a great time to go to local events and meet great people. Please don't be put off by this moldy ass meta. 3 of my scheduled events are before rotation. Yeah, that's the district thing. They're going to be before rotation, but I think people are still excited to go out and play some of the old favorite cards before they go. FAO is a one of in Nightcrawler's World 24 Crim list. Yep. I think one of the couple, like there's a couple lists published like with no win conditions that were just like Forge activation decks. When you played 419 like 2 years ago, there were some like, I would say sort of memey decks. Did like Janktivist play one of these? There's a whole bunch of these strange ones. Oh yeah. 3rd place, top crim at CBI as of 2 years ago, has a Forge activation order. That's Ian. Rangi Doge. It shows up. Sometimes it was right to like be able to deal with Egg Infusion or to deal with Stavka. Like there was some nice reasons to force ice reses. Stavka was a big one in Criminal back in the day, where like Stavka Afruin was the way to play op. Yeah, Nightgride is just playing 1. I don't think it did anything. But Nightgride was like, there's only 1 criminal, I think, in the top 16 at Worlds this year. I bought 3 revised cores for the new arts. Yo, Ren, you did. Did you have the original like 3 of core? I think I got one, and I have it as like a board game on a shelf. Like I made the pre-built decks and I didn't disassemble it. I think there's a couple cards that I like the art more than the original. Yeah. It's a really cool card that I don't think cuts it barely. Maybe if I let it run on the click you play it. Yeah. I think you need something like that. If Forge Activation Order also made the run, then it'd be pretty sweet. It just needs to be a bit more dense for the single event because card slots are just like very, very tight. But being a bit ahead of massive change rotation, I think this is the perfect time to get back into the Netrunner mindset, hence why I'm here. Well, welcome, Ed. It's a really, really cool time. Meta, there's a lot of tournaments. The meta is like known but unknown. Pat, how you doing? Hopefully you're well. It's really good against hard Glacier matchups for Red Crim IMO, but it's also really funny against Gatekeeper. Yeah, there's some nice things you want to force reses on, right? Like, this is the thing, though, is like Forge Activation's Order was good when you wanted to see what that ice is and you didn't want to face check it. But modernly, if you ask me, I will face check most everything. Like, Gatekeeper, I'm running it. Obviously, if you forged a Gatekeeper, it's pretty good for you, but I'll just run it, usually. This is the first Netrunner set release plus rotation that I'm going to experience since starting to play the game, and I know from my experience with other card games how fun of a time it's going to be. It's like a really weird thing, right? It's one thing to get new cards and be like, oh, damn, they printed Coalescence and Trick Shot. Oh, Shaper's sick. Let's go out and have fun. But then it's another thing to lose cards. And I mean that like tone excited. Like losing cards is sometimes like the coolest thing. Like this is a kind of a cursed sentiment, but when the card pool changes and something that you've leaned on, like I know this is not rotating kind of sadly, but like when your daily cast is gone and then you're forced to like, you know, dive into the weird bag of cards that you haven't touched because they're not as good as daily casts, you end up playing environmental testing all the time and be like, wait, I actually really like this. Like rotation's really exciting. Even if there's no cards and cards just leave the format can be just exciting. Like Rebellion with Rehearsal, or specifically the Automata Initiative, was a sick set, but if the Automata Initiative didn't come out and just like Flashpoint rotated that old FFG cycle, I honestly might have had just as good of a time. Again, I think TAI is one of my favorite sets of all time, so that's not the idea you're meant to get out of this, but I'm just saying, sometimes just losing cards is the shakeup you want and what you're excited for. Hey, Supernut, how you doing? I opened a bit of your blog on Tuesday's stream. I still haven't sat and read through it, but I keep forgetting to post it. I'll do it proper on Tuesday. I'm so sorry. I know people are like reading it and really excited about it. Hecky Alma Lucille. Hey, Conrad, how you doing? I forget, is Mark intended to be evergreen? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what NSG has said about it. I'd be surprised if they don't revisit it at some point. I'd be surprised if it's an elevation. I don't think we're going to see Mark in elevation. I think if anything, we might see threat in elevation. But I think charge, like there's no reason you can't revisit those cards. I don't know how the power level of Sable or anybody else will change if you keep presenting Mark cards. Like I don't think you can just keep printing Sabotage cards. At some point you have an issue. I think charge can just be like fully re-explored and everyone's like, oh, okay, cool, new mechanic. But yeah, Mark is probably, you can do a couple things with it. I don't think you're going to see an elevation though. How does Blackguard work with 419 versus Ob? If I don't pay the exposed, do I have to pay Derez? I don't know. If you think other card games are fun, you're in for a treat. There's so many incredibly creative people doing such cool things. I'm hoping we have another text-based adventure game. Oh, just spoilers though, yeah. Are we going to talk about Monster Train 2 tonight? No, I don't think so. Like, I'm glad you're excited, Pat. I saw that trailer and I'm like, I know a guy who needs to see this trailer immediately. I think, again, I'm in a Beneath Aresa kind of hole right now. I'm playing Beneath Aresa, which is a roguelike no one's heard of, and it's really quite good. But I'm happy that there's more Monster Train. I didn't think that would happen, and it's a fun game. Feels like we're about to start a brand new era, and it sparked a lot of energy in people that might have faded a little way, including me. Yeah, that's good to hear. But there's a demo out. I've only played one run of the demo, but it seems to be very much more of the same, but with different clans. Oh, okay. That's easy. 3 OG core, 3 revised. Yo, that's hardcore. Think Negrade specifically said it was anti-Ag Infusion tech in the write-up. Okay, yeah, no surprise. I think those are the two big targets, is like Op and Ag Infusion, just to get some ice rest so you can make a successful run and play a run event, a pinhole, whatever you want. The Descent ARG was fun to be involved in. Almost all of the like, not almost, all of the like spoiler little games were absolutely fantastic. Whether it's like the ARG, I know years ago there's like a crossword that like Shoeflower put together. It's just like really, really, really cool stuff. Almost all the digital stuff, like the Your Digital Life one was really fun. I don't think there's been a bad one. Forge Order's biggest problem is Bravado does the same thing and makes money. No. Well, sort of, but no. Right? Like the Bravado makes money and forces the ice res usually. Forge, you want to trash the ice. right? Like I think a lot of times in Forge, where Forge is like killer cool, is you force like a credit differential and then you destroy some ice that they can't res. You're right, Bravado like gets an ice res, but so does the basic action, I guess. So sort of, but I don't think this is like a force money out of your pocket card. It's either like force an ice res so it changes board state, which Bravado doesn't do. You don't really want a Bravado Ag Infusion like that. I was a sucker for the Liga Smashkane Red Herrings and Maker's Eye. Had to have a playset. The Maker's Eye art is incredibly like big, just absolutely extravagant. And nobody has seen this art. Oh, apparently it was in the system core. Like this art is absurd. This low resolution doesn't like still looks fantastic, but does it no favors. It is so wild. And the Red Herrings art, I'm glad you shouted that out because it is also phenomenal. I think Red Herrings was wildly underplayed. This is really, really, really quite nice. The original ONR Red Herrings also had a bunch of red fish in it, but it did not look this magical. It was way uglier for sure. The original Red Herrings like sparks no joy, which honestly I think is a problem. Like this art is functional, but the fact that this sparks no joy makes people not want to play the card. I think it's a legitimate issue. This was like the defensive upgrade in the core set, and it saw no play. It's wild. Good example of card rotating being exciting is Paperclip. Yeah, Paperclip, hard hitting news. There's a lot of really good rotations. Neither, how's it going? Banless team said their biggest mistake was not banning Paperclip. Not banning Paperclip fast enough, or sorry, at all. Like endurance fast enough, Paperclip at all, yes. I do think there was, that could have been a big change for sure. I trade having to face the Ashes Arrow Breaker Suite for having to face Turbine. You know what I'm excited to lose? Every Wayland and NBN Misery Generator, Trojan Horse, Under the Bus, Wake Up Call, Self-Growth Program, Amani Sanai. I hear you. I just want to be careful, Lucille, because you're saying the words and now they're written down on the internet. The monkey's paw is like hella mean some days. You gotta be like, kind of dance around it. Be like, it's kind of nice. NBN card pool is going to be looking better. You can't name names. You can't say misery. It's a strong paw. It can hear you. As for the Borealis mechanics, I don't think they were intended to be evergreen at the time. Mark kind of needs to be printed alongside the 3 helper cards. Oh, that is true. There's just like a production cost associated with Mark that makes it a bit less accessible. That's true. Trojan and Amani are more interesting than those other cards on the list. No, Trojan's not interesting. Disagree. Mark is definitely at risk of over synergy if there's more printed. Yeah. Somewhat obviously, I guess. Like run Mark, gain 2 credits, draw 3 cards, get a click back. I bought Beneath Arresta during the Quebec game sales. I haven't started it. Is it a Quebecois game? Patrick, am I doing my national duty on accident? It is hella cool. The class system is just like the class designs are fantastic. Let me sell you on Beneath Arresta. It's Slay the Spire, right? Like you play cards to do damage and block. You see their intentions. It does have a 3D element of it, which is actually really charming. But one of the classes has this bar that when it charges, whatever is the biggest melee attack you're going to take that turn, and most of the fights are against multiple creatures or multiple characters, you just take no damage, you parry it, and you return damage with whatever your parry meter has charged up to. But the thing is, at the beginning of every turn, 2 of your cards randomly become Zealous cards. I think they're called Zeal cards, Zealous cards. And if you don't play those cards, at the end of the turn, it adds 2 to your parry meter. So you end up in this situation where there's other ways to get your parry meter. One of my favorite characters, the first time you attack a character gets 1 parry meter. So you want to like try and touch everyone at once, which plays around the whole idea that the best crowd control is death in these sort of games. And then you want to like not play these cards so that you charge them, and the decision space is just like really fun. It's really, really cool. I'm not like a big Slay the Spire crunchy head who can tell you if it's like a quote unquote good game where you spend like, 2,000 hours in Slay the Spire, but I'm just having a whale of a time. Katara has been in the card pool for 7 years. I love it, but it's time. Yeah, that's how I see it too. I'm going to miss cards from Katara, but like it's been way too long. Marcus Nisha needs supplements. Charge is ass, but Sabotage is a beautiful mechanic. Yeah, Sabotage is cool. I'd be okay with like a deck that has a bit of Sabotage in it, but wasn't ESO all the time. I don't think we're ever going to see that though. I tried the Monster Hunter. Wow. Monster Hunter? Monster Train 2 demo? I think Rakatha, right? How's it going? And is the first one supposed to actually be way harder than Covenant 25? Barely, it might not be going okay. Charging criminal cards is for some reason way better than charging shaper cards. I agree. Criminal has got so much like power counter stuff, and it's just like no way to really do anything cool with it. Yeah, for core cards that are rotating, the HBBC really a BC? Sorry, nice. Anyone who's played against me on Jaina recently will know I think there is some gas to be had in the charge mechanic. I just think it's really problematic from a design standpoint. Huh. As the function of board control Norma Glacier, I think it's difficult in HB, but maybe good outside. Are we talking about MIC? I'm assuming we're gonna get a reprint of border control. MIC is not the border control for Wayland, that's for sure. Biobolt will be missed. It's a design space you can re-explore easily. Yo, Wenagon, me when I put Carnivore in a deck. That's a good looking console. I cannot imagine the amount of card support you have to print to make Carnivore good without like messing up everything in a horrible way. It's a shame. Like, I think we're gonna get an imp reprint. I hope the imp reprint is like a bit more, feels like there's a couple more angles of interaction. That would be good. I think imp is kind of frustrating. But this would be fun if it was good. I just don't know how you can make this good without making like baseline, you know, synergistic Anarch packages messed up. The universe is listening. I've already reported all of this to the monkey's paw. Expect reprints of misery cards. Hey, Spooky. Are people generally excited for the next rotation? The current standard card pool is intimidating. Spooky, people are so excited for the next rotation. And for one big reason. You can get all the cards, right? Like, this is the hardest thing, and it's very much worth knowing that you can proxy at all levels of play. People are playing at the World Championship with black and white photocopies. I don't care how much money you spend on the game. Neither does null signal games. So you can play with anything. Just print them. You can draw them in casual tournaments. It doesn't matter. That is the biggest thing, is that there's so many people who don't want to get into organized play Netrunner because they have to feel like they want to hunt down FFG cards. And that's obviously like, they've been out of print for like 6-7 years. So they can't do that. 8 years. So the fact that someone can go buy an entire playset of everything to play this fantastic game at the highest competitive level at one stop shop here is so cool. And it'll cost you less than like a Magic the Gathering deck, a Flesh and Blood deck, a Lorcana deck, right? Let alone it could be free if you want it, if you want to cut out some cards. I think that is incredible and makes accessibility to this game truly the second generation, where people can be like, this is a complete game, no single games, has, you know, all the reigns, and it's so easy to get into. People are so excited for that, where they can get into this and like see what the second era of Netrunner looks like. Technically the third era, because there's the 90s game. You're doing your CanCon right. Oh, that's good to know, Pat. That is huge. It's a huge rotation just from the fact that we won't have any unplayable cards in standard anymore. Unbuyable. Oh my god. Yeah, I auto-corrected to unplayable. Yeah, unbuyable cards. Yeah. Pairing in any game activates the neurons. I love parry mechanics. Me too. It's really good. I'm going to take no damage and do a lot of damage to you. That is totally fine with me. It's Canadian. So proud. So pronounce Zedless meter. Alex, what? Oh, because of the zealous meter. Okay, I got it. I got there. It's the chat delay, honestly, Alex. I think you nailed it. I think Sabotage really benefits from critical mass of Sabotage decks. Speaking of which, embezzle replacement. No, it's called Burner, and Criminal just won't get a good HQ card ever. It's fine. It's okay. It's been a year. So when does all non-SG cards rotate? Is that with Elevation? Yeah, gentlemen, how's it going? Exactly. It is in 62 days, I think. That sounds about right. In the April 24th. When Elevation comes out in the standard and startup format, all FFG cards rotate, barring small print. There's like 6 or 7 cards that are reprinted in NSG products, so you still have them. So cards like Sure Gamble and Hedge Fund, those have existed forever, all the way back since 1996. Those will still exist. And then there's some weird cards that are technically designed by FFG, but they do exist in like the Ashes cycle. I don't expect NSG to ban these. If they do, yeah, it's cool, I guess. I don't mind. Reprinted SMC type, but these are technically, this is an FFG card. It looked like this when it came out in 2013. But if you buy Ashes, you'll have it. So it's not like you're going to have a different card back or anything like that. So yes, in about 60 days, it'll be only NSG. So everything will be on their store. I really think you just need a runner subliminal message, and Carnivore is great. Blank card that comes back to your hand. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I would be down with a blank card that doesn't end nothing, but come back. That's kind of cool. I say print Carnivore at 0 credits. I've already got the perfect name for it. Pat, what is it? What would you want to see an imp reprint? Interesting. I do think I need to make this video, but the cards I think are going to be reprinted and how you would change it. I honestly don't know. I'd be okay if imp required a successful run to install it. I'm not sure. I'd be okay if... Oh, I don't know. Do you have to trash a card from your hand and use the virus counter, but it's cheaper and you get more counters, so you only use it once per turn? Like, I just feel like... I don't know. It's such an integral card. It's just annoying. And I think maybe I'm just annoyed by how much recursion there is. Like, I've been in Imp Hell. I've been in 9 Samuel chip Imp Hell with Lou before. Like, it's rough. But this card is so critical because there's so many Anarch engines with like Audrey and Lou that are dependent on a card like this being accessible. So, oof, I don't know. I imagine if I thought about it a bit longer, cop out, we'd come up with a better idea. But I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to think about it. Really hoping we get a one-stop buy all of standard, buy all of startup button. Yeah, Lucille, I think we're gonna see like packages like that. I don't know if it's gonna be like a better rate, but there should be on the website, I have no doubt, like a startup bundle. I can't believe there's not right now. Maybe it comes in a different box, stuff like that. Like there should be a prorated bundle for people. And then you'd be like, just go to the store link, buy it. And people are like, yeah, I'll drop $150 on this game everyone says is amazing, and then they'll figure out it's good. What's the full reprint set? SMC, Hedge Fund, Gamble, Daily Casts, Cerebral Overrider, False Lead, Colossus. I think that's it. I might be missing one because that doesn't seem like an even number. If there's a card that gets a near print, I think it's Daily Casts. We do already have our SME replacement. I honestly think that we'll never see a Daily Casts because I think NSG doesn't like generic neutral economy. I think it's NSG's benefit to like not print Daily Cast, give Shaper environmental testing, give Criminal a playable red team, and not have cards like this. You might have noticed in the last like three or four sets, whatever, like NSG has put out like 2 neutral cards. Mind you, one of them is Biobands, which is like a universally good card, but NSG has not been very happy to print neutral base economy cards. There's a chance Elevation can get 1 or 2, like an Earthrise Hotel type replacement. But NSG doesn't seem really like they want the card pool from each faction to look actually fundamentally different. I'd be surprised if we see a Daily Cast reprint, unless it's ass. Then maybe, but who cares? Oh yeah, Alex, you got it in chat. Okay, cool. Neat. Cheers. Yeah, of course. Welcome to the channel, maybe. The Nearcast won't be an update, I think. Balls laid on Antoine says, how you doing? 2 casts is way too good. Hey, Brennan, I'm able to tune in tonight even though it's local meetup night because I got to spend the day at the hospital with my wife. She's fine though. Good clarification. I'm glad that everyone's fine. Hopefully hospital has been okay. Maybe it's I hope everyone's okay. I'm not gonna make a joke. Hopefully you're all doing good, huh? I think Imp is an excellent design. I would not want to see it changed. The problem that I hate about the Imp thing is like the little guy. I really like the little guy. This guy is like scarier than it should be. So it started with this little guy. I like this little guy. He's, you know, a bit curmudgeonly, but we like the little guy. And then if we get Mavirus alt art, which this is a Cat-Shen if I'm not mistaken, I just like the little guy. See, here he's hanging out. This is more close to the, you know, the system update one. It's just little guys are real fun. It's just a nice little guy hanging out. I like that the most, I think. Imp, but it can't be installed from the heap. Oh yeah, that would make it really bad. But like if it was trashed, it removes itself from the game. Yeah, that would be huge. But it would also mess everybody up. Imp is once per turn. No, I know. I was clarifying that it would also need to be once per turn. Somehow I still don't own Ashes. Wait, what? Wait, really? That's kind of weird. Might not be the best to scare away players with USD 400 for 6 set bundle. I am not part of the marketing team. They'll find out a way. Playable red team was probably the strongest resource ever, so maybe be careful. I've heard rumors that at one point red team was like, you can run any server, not just a central server, and like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Why would you want assets to not be checked by this thing? I think Daily Cast is fine. I kind of wild that they decided the faction-specific economy should outpace Daily Cast this hard. They don't, though. Like, environmental testing only barely outpaces Daily Cast, and you have to build around it. Like, Daily Cast in a lot of decks is better than, like, the cards that they're playing, honestly. It's just people don't want to play Daily Cast, and the meta's a bit fast. Honestly, Daily Cast is better than a lot of the economy cards. Like, would I rather play Daily Cast or Carpe Diem? Fucking Daily Cast. 9 out of 10 times. I'm playing Paladin Plemo. Yo, I forgot you stream in the evening. Jello Shots, how's it going? Thursdays. Yes, how's it going? They already near printed it. It's just smartware. Milanomi, that's what I mean. It's like when they print generic, like neutral economy, it's smartware distributor, which like, yeah, okay. I learned that this was a connection during our startup tournament where a new player who's very nice played it. And I was like, I'm going to trash. And they're like, discard a card from your hand. I'm like, no. They're like, it's a connection. I'm like, there's no way. It's a car. But there's a guy in there. I had to trash a card from my hand. I committed to it. I didn't want to be like, oh, never mind then. I didn't know this. No, I was like, yeah, okay. I guess I'm committing to this bit now. It was very important. His economy wasn't very good at that point. What did you have for breakfast? Toast with peanut butter and cheese. Vegetarian lifestyle's really weird sometimes. 8 hours in a bad metal seat to be told, you're good, go home. Oh, hopefully it's like you are good. That's good news good, not like we're not doing medicine good. Sorry, Brennan. Liga Imp is an alt art I've always wished I had. Oh, there was an FFG alt art too. There's an FFG imp alt art, right? Yeah, this is the little guy I'm thinking of too. This little guy's so good. There's so many good little guys in imp. And if imp gets like reprinted and it doesn't just have a little guy on it, I'm gonna be upset. Look at all these other imps that FFG did. This is not my little guy. You're not my little guy. Come on. Give me the little guy. Rip gingerbread. Imp, but if a program was trash this turn, oh man. There's only one neutral econ and system update. You're gonna have to click every few turns to keep it going. Is Smartware good in startup? I think it's probably okay. Are custom alt arts fully legitimate now or not welcome at bigger events? Oh, totally. Well, so they're totally legitimate and welcome. The community has a huge alt art scene that's encouraged. There technically is guidelines to make sure that your alt art is competitively viable. There's just like some clarity things that have to be passed. So either you can check if you're going to make your own alt art, or you can check your tournament organizer before the tournament and let them do a deck check. There's stuff that you can do. For me, generally, if I go to a casual tournament, I will just play whatever damn alt arts because it's casual, doesn't matter. If I go to a competitive tournament, I'll try and just use some of the more standard alt arts. This is not a rule. This is just how I think of it, because I don't like the idea, especially on corp side. On the runner side, feel free, it doesn't matter. On the corp side, I don't like it when someone accesses it from the top of R&D and I show them the card and they're clearly like wincing and trying to figure it out. That just feels bad. I feel like I'm angle shooting, so I'm careful there. But otherwise, yeah, there's just rules about what is a legit alt art in terms of competitive viability. Hey David, I was mentioning the more cards need to be removed from the game if they would be added to the stack. I don't think I follow. It was mentioning the more cards. Sorry, David. Generally, I think every single Shaper deck ends up popping environmental at around the same speed the empty casts. A lot of them faster. I think the good Shaper decks pop environmental testing in 2 turns, including the turn it comes down. Because of like SMC Muse simulchip stuff, it's like really easy to pop it very, very quickly. Smart Cream. I think it's a phone. Does that make Smartware one of the little guy type cards? No, it's a big boxy truck. There's the guys probably, they're 2 big guys. I don't know. I think it's a connection because Smartware is meant to be the caddy replacement. Well, it's like a someone you know, right? Like not everyone has access to this van, is my guess. I have 100 copies of that imp. We'll see what people want them. You need to get them to Conrad. We can get them there, right? I'm not saying Caddy is good anymore, but don't do Caddy dirty by comparing her to Smart Distributor. Smartware was playable in startup during the Glacier Apocalypse. It's too slow now. Okay, that's good to know. To be clear, I'm 100% on board with faction-coded econ options, and NV testing is a great example. Yeah, I agree. It's a build run. It's cool. The best thing about Elevation is that we might get new little guys. Just a whole bunch of guys. 85 little guys. The recursion problem is that you can't put simulchip back in the stack. It shouldn't be RFG if used. If it should be RFG, you would place it back in the stack. My problem currently is just labor rights. That's it. Just get rid of this. It'll be gone soon. 62 days or whatever. I think this is my problem. I'm not sure otherwise. For what it's worth, NSG is like pretty dodgy around like RFG. They don't seem to like RFG. There's a lot of card games where there's certain decks or archetypes that RFG like everything, and that's a legitimate cost. I like that. I play a Steve Cambridge deck. Like sometimes you have a pile of 15 cards RFG'd after a long game, sometimes more. That's kind of cool, but I get it. RFG is like a weird thing. It just becomes like heap, second heap, third heap. Very weird. I insisted to have some little guys in Elevation, but only if they're all on corp cards. Yeah, Patrick, I'm fine. I'll just take any little guy. I don't care. Just get some little guys out there. It's not too late, right? I'm going to try and give out a bunch of the still legal ones at the Southeast Regionals. Otherwise, I need to find some Eternal sickles to sell it. Maybe you still want to see some prizes. I don't think MC's allowed to play an Eternal. But I do think if you have 49 of them, you can make them card backs. And that's pretty cool. Cheat, your opponent plays a little guy. I think the overuse of RFG feels a bit like lazy design. Yeah, but I like it. I like it. Oh no, I don't like RFG because people put RFG cards under their IDs and forget about them, and then I forget about them. I don't like people that put RFG cards. Okay, hold on. I like everyone. People that put RFG cards underneath their identity, I don't know why they do that. Because you don't know how many spin doctors are out of the game, and I don't know how many spin doctors are out of the game. We should both share that information. You should just put it out by the agendas, and we should have a good time looking at that together. I feel like you're taking important information and saying this is not important information, which serves you and I poorly. Probably don't do that. I think it's like clean for board state. Like there's so many reasons why you should do it. Maybe not my favorite thing. I have a platform so I can say hot takes like this and then regret them after I feel bad if people like doing it, but Mount Chow, one of the fewer cards featuring both a little guy and a big guy. Yeah, but the little guy's not a good day for the little guy. Same with Anvil and Hammer. Little guy, bad day. Bad day, little guy. I don't think labor rates is more of a problem to me. I'm more frustrated by Anarchs churning through their decks at 100 miles per hour. Oh, well, 7 Simon chips later. He's getting upset. Settle just little guys. The new set. When you get the next level Inception where you have an interact with cards that have been removed from game, which is super silly. Yes, I agree. I think that's really funny. Like, take a card that's removed from game, return it to game. It's like, what does anything mean anymore? Just call it heap 2. Import deck. Yes. The technology exists. I think imp is eternal considerable. Is it? Is it like just in like noise? Is it just like CI tech? Nice. I'm pretty sure I'm not attaching your like username with like your YouTube name. I'm pretty sure you're playing in the Eternal Super League, right? If you don't want to, like, you don't have to answer. Imp is in Hive Mind Max, but that deck is like hanging out in the maybe area. Salset Slums? Oh, yeah, Salset Slums was a big one, but that was FFG, right? Oh, I built new technology for the stream. I think it's gonna be great. I'm in Eternal Super League. Okay, I'm pretty sure I know what your handle is then. Fantastic. Hey, I got my local store to carry Netrunner, and they're going to do Elevation pre-orders so we can have a launch day release event. Wait, that's sick. That's really, really cool. Okay, check this out. I built this today. I'm not going to be salty about it. Boop, boop. You ready? Are you ready for some counting? This is op. We played against Duckland, I think, recently on Tuesday. It is a kill op that's trying to hurt you with damage. Thanks, you two. Urban Renewal, Public Trail, all that sort of stuff is not good for us. Now, Amakua is not fantastic into this matchup, but Trashing Ice is really good into this matchup. Because if Op doesn't have Ice, it doesn't have anything. Now, Leech Amakua can go pretty far. This is where, like, I would love to run R&D in turn 1 and draw a card and gain a credit. Unfortunately, Reina Roja. This hand's really good besides Ashen and the fact it has no card draw, but I'm pretty sure most hands are not going to have card draw. Best viewers? Ah, Robot. Have you no shame? We'll keep. Trying to ban it. It's unbannable. All right, don't click on that link, please. I was overestimating. I have 17 copies of the Imps and 50 Black Orchestras. Oh no. Did Duckland keep? Okay, kept. Gonna bring an X-Acto knife and extra copies of cards for my next tournament for the psychic damage. You're just gonna start like shaving them. Okay, I'm behind on chat. I feel like I need to focus on how this game is starting, and then I can get back to chat. What's the Reina deck idea? It's the Decklist of the week. The idea is don't play Reina, play Hoshiko. Sobek did well at the UK London regionals, but it was not the play. So we have a couple plays here. Border Control for 5, pretty tempting. We could do Amakua, Devil Charm, run it, pretty tempting. I think we're just going to try and get a Reina number to go up. Ice Wall for 2. Financial damage, got him. Okay, unfortunately, we can't get through that with the Amakua. If that's a Rashida, we're going to be upset. We can do Leech Run HQ. I think that's actually okay. Imagine we touched a card and gained a card and a credit. I'm doing this so that we have Amakua and because there might be an agenda in there. There's not. Hey, Radish, I really want Stirrup to be a third ice with Hammer and Anvil to recontextualize the ice as ear bones. A twist of the century. There's no reason to do it. What happens when somebody does attach to an identity, then it's in the way, and worse, those cards are in private knowledge. Ooh, MCA? Off of a Maryland? Cool. Oh, IG Tech. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Okay, I can ban this. Hold on. I'm very behind on everything. You can turn its removed from game pile into a regular game mechanic because they want to interact with its design space. Yeah, it sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Ass thing to do. Tone neutral. So we can install this 3, break for 4, trash for 7. We're on 1 credit. We could have been on an extra card and a credit here, but the Hoshiko. But hey, we have a 2 credit Ice Wall. That's good. Count your blessings. We just let MCA roll. Just let it roll. We got to just manually click to draw a lot. Don't know if I want to show the Amakua. A second Ice Here's whatever. What does Duckland do with an MCA? You trash it to get a 0 coster. Is that scary in combo land? Face checking HQ might have an agenda. I feel like last click is not the play to do it. So unfortunately, we're going to let that number stay at 1. Like, I think we just draw here and throw at the Ashen, which doesn't do anything. Still need a Black Orchestra, Amina, NGO, and a handful of older stuff. Orchestras are kind of common. Amina wasn't. NGO was also very rare. So that might be hard to get Ren. 26 imps. Mr. Intro. Yeah, sorry. Reina is the decklist of the week. Yeah, that's it. It's just crew Hosh, but without Hosh. Which Sobek said is not the play. And I hear it. Need a little beltading. The technology is not that good. It's okay. Oh, this is Jonald stuff? Okay. All right. 8 credits. So next turn, something cool can happen here. So we can do Sure Gamble, Amakua, run it. We might just raindrops it. And then we can check server 3 if we want to. Imagine we drew a card and got a credit off of this interaction. Feels like that would be good. Oh, action. In theory, like you could purge to stop the Amakua from working. That'd be pretty painful. Something I want to see in the next set is Agenda Swapper. Standard is missing those. When we had a powerful Agenda Swapper, the format was messed up. Like people just did not play 1-pointers. So I'm like scared. Like all the Agenda Swappers were busted. Either a turntable or the other one. Or exchange of information. Are we just going to get like oppoed here? UI was fine. Yeah, all right. Oh, we have no clicks left. Right, we only have a 3-click turn. Ah, bummer. We didn't have to go that turn. Maybe we did. I'm worried that we have to poke the Spin Doctor sooner than later. Imagine we drew a card here and got a credit. I'd be pretty scared with the 3-1 shuffle tag, though. Yep. Yeah. And with Hollowman, like, it's very easy to score out at 3-2 with, like, clicks left and do something really bad to you. Turntable is kind of amazing. It was, like, one of the most stifling cards in the whole history of the game. Like, we can't even run this. We're assuming this is a Sandstone or boarding control, so we can run R&D to start, then we can raindrops it. We're not going to get in. We find a virus is bad. This wasn't res, so I think it's a powers that be, which, like, we have to deal with probably. So let's just see if we get Stavkud here. Probably going to get a rain account. Give me one more credit. One more credit. Come on. Yeah. Dose. These 2 credits are going to come back immediately, but like still, hey, it's 2 credits, I guess. Hey, Pentium, how's it going? I noticed the logo on the Velma's Diner YouTube was updated. You noticed that? I did that a couple days ago. Oh, forcing the boarding control. In theory, Duckland can let us pay to break the ice wall. You don't have to do that right away. So that was actually a pretty, a lot of value was missed there. It stops actually the raindrops. No, there's some value there. So instead of us breaking this, it wasn't 2 credits and we didn't have to go through the ice wall. So the difference is, in theory, we could have gained some cards, but we're not going to. Make her res the Winchester? No, I think we can't do that. I think we just have to trash this. That was an interesting interaction. It's a hearts and minds. Okay, we have to deal with that. Oh, we have to draw because we're not the other ability. Are you good? Yeah, Pinium, Maddie did the logo and then I did some texture work on it and it's much nicer now. I am gonna film. Yeah, this is why we had to deal with the Spin Doctor. The first stuff for that, probably next week actually, with Jeff, which I'm excited. Jeff built a good George Barnaby deck. I think I'm playing Marion Tavares. It's an Azyef. Please hit the Steel Skin. Don't hit the Devil Charm. Surprised we didn't just go in with the Charm. Yes! I don't think we needed to. Right, like if it's a border control, it gets popped anyways. So now there's a lot of things on the table that we have to do. We could have had a card and a credit here. So we have to deal with Rashida, we have to deal with Spin Doctor, and then we might have to deal with server 5. So I'm going to go Spin Doctor first so that you can't shuffle back the Rashida. I'm assuming it's going to be MCA and the Slash and Burn. And then we just have to do our homework. Oh, it was the Extract. Okay, that makes sense. We are Reina after all. So we have to deal with this. We have to check server 5 so it's not a Maryland or it's not a... If it's a Svi, we can still deal with it. Don't worry about our money. Hearts and Minds, I guess we deal with that. And then we just draw a card. This is not financially very good. Archives, running Archives is actually better. Yeah, we got a Leech and an Amkua. Yeah, that was way better. The running the Spin Doctor was very wrong. Yeah, huge. Very, very big. Yeah, running Archives instead was way better there. All right, so now we can run HQ. If it's an Afshar, we lose everything. But if it's a Winchester, it can't be rezzed. So I just want that number to go up. Yeah, Archives run would have been much better there. That's a really, really big change. So no res here means that either it's a border control, it's a Winchester. Could just be a little Afshar is bad. We lose all our money, but so does she. All right, we trade. Reina, 3 credits. We have a Reina counter, yeah, and the technology exists. So now we're bankrupt. We could have been safer and installed the leech first if we wanted to, just in case we were playing around this. We need to get credits up. I think we should do draw credit. I don't know if we're on dirty laundry. We are, but we only have 2. Because I don't know how we get out of the credit hole. Oh, that's a way to get out of the credit hole. So we can hit him a virus here. In theory, we can't trash anything. Want to break 1 there? Holy shit. This is what's happening today. I'm an absolute mess. Wait a second. I can at least dodge. Could have done something. Okay, hold on. We're going to re-rack. We re-rack. Okay. Do you mind if I break the 2 credit one so I don't lose 2 credits? Okay, we're going to focus. That's a really big change for us because now we can strike fund here. Thank you. Yeah. We could have gone for the Axis for 2 credits. The Axis is probably better. Yeah, it's one of those days for sure. We're talking a bit too quickly. So now I'm okay running R&D to get both of these up and then we can strike fund. This is probably on a lot of different agenda points. Okay. We could go back for another. She can't really do much. The best thing she can do is put something behind a sandstone. I think honestly here, like we might just like tempo labor rights. I don't want to do last click because we still have 2 strike fund. I don't love tempo labor rights. People do it all the time, but we have 2 strike fund, 2 steel skin. So I guess we'll start with that next turn, probably after we play the strike fund. So I guess we just play the strike fund. Excavator goes in the remote. If the excavator goes in the remote, we're okay with it. Like we can't deal with it. It might not be the excavator, but she's on 2 credits. So it has to be Rashida or excavator. I'm going to tempo labor rights. Sick. Worth. So we drew another steel skin. We trashed cleaver, raindrops, and steel skin. So we can shuffle back some cards. I think it's going to be raindrops. If there's wraparound, we need cleaver. That's the only reason we need it. Probably wraparound, raindrops, steel skin. Upping for ice doesn't increase the Reina counter. No, it doesn't. So Svi should be on 5 next turn. I think we just do steel skin, yeah. All right, we drew a raindrops. That's nice. So here we probably don't do anything. We can touch R&D for a single, which is kind of valuable. We can get down to Lago and click for a credit. I think I'm okay with that. We could run HQ, which is actually probably okay. Maybe we can duck where we do Lago, raindrops HQ. Window of opportunity, Reina. Yeah, it's weird. I think we can raindrops HQ here because there's definitely points in hand. And this is like perfectly ducks into it. And the run. And we draw a card. We're not killing the excavator this turn. No, it costs us way too much money. Shit. So it is a kill list. So I think we just install Mystic and chill. I believe this is the one we played on Tuesday. So it does have public trail in it. Yeah, I don't think it is the excavator. I don't think you ice up the excavator often. She doesn't have huge excavator targets here. This is more likely the excavator. All right, drew sure gamble, lost the raindrops. So we can't actually play this gamble that easily. I think there's an agenda in server too, so it might be an eminent. So we can do credit, sure gamble, run one of these. We need to deal with Svi, but only if we have to, like, it's either we trash Svi or we trash the other card. Because if Svi doesn't really have a great target here. So we can do credit, sure gamble, and just deal with one of these. Feels rough. Feels like we're missing a lot of free card draw. Weird. Do not run Sandstone and spend the leech. I don't really want to check it. I want to check the board. I think there's a chance this is a Tucana or an agenda. Okay, hearts and minds is fine. So we're assuming this is if she just scores out an ZF and goes down to, oh, okay, that's fine too. Like the stuff on the table is usually a bit more important. That's really good. Well, that's really quite good here. So this is probably a Svi. We can now check server 2, I think. So we'll draw 2 cards and get 4 credits for trashing. Okay. So now we can run server 8. We can run server 2. Reina's not doing anything. Eye for an eye is valuable in this matchup, as much as a tag is scary. This is probably the Svi. We can't trash it though. Oh, another urban. Okay, we just gotta keep our hand size up. Because public trail's coming. Eye for an Eye draws cards, yeah, but it gives us a tag. I think we'd rather do it next turn with Mystic. We could check this. So this costs us a credit to check. I think there might be an agenda there and a Tucana. We'll take the bite. Oh, I think she's also on Forced Connection, if I'm not mistaken. So we want to be careful. I think we might just want to get her credits up. Because I'm pretty sure she is on Forced Connection, which is 2 tags if we can't beat the trace. Now, she could score at an agenda, but if she scores at an agenda, she's kind of bankrupt, and I don't think she's on Eminent. So I'll just chill. We're a bit harder to kill with certain combos that involve op because we have Lagu, because usually you have installed some sort of asset. Oh, it is SV, okay. Check R&D for clicking a credit. I'd rather set up, because I think going HQ is much more important for us. Nice. Marilyn, tread lightly. This doesn't trigger. We have to trash this. I'm assuming she's going to extract it this turn. No, just asset spam. Okay. Oofa doofa. 3 credit Reina. Right, like if this is her game plan, we're much better off clicking for credits, I think, than trying to get singles. Like Maryland's the most important. We know what Maryland costs though, so we can check these. I saw a purple 2-cost asset, my mind immediately went to Estelle Moon. Malia Zaloka, non-virtual resource, so whatever. Wall to wall, okay. This will be res and trash to Svi, but I'd rather trash the Maryland. We got to make decisions here. Keeping our cards up, and then we just click for a credit. Good old tread lightly might actually do something. The problem is the wall to wall is going to trash for +3 credits this turn because you res it, get the credit, trash it. So she's going to be on money, and we're just like, not Hoshiko. Oh my god, not Hoshiko. This tread lightly I kind of want to hold on to. I think the Devil Charm might go here. Mavirus will eventually upset the Leech Amakua interaction. Feel like Maryland was the weakest asset? No, it's 5 credits. And it gets a 1-cost around the table, which is another urban that we have to deal with. Like this will be a Spin Doctor or Rashida, which is like whatever. Dirty Laundry is a really good draw. You ready for that number to go up? Uh-oh. Now we're either Tucana or Forced Connection. Forced Connection, we just like eat it. Worst thing about Forced Connection is we can't eye for an IHQ. So we just die. Just die. Man, this is just like, you know, the grinder. We're just gonna put things on the table, and if you don't pivot centers to try and win, you have to keep all this stuff up. And if you don't have a competitive economy, you can't keep it up. Mavirus has a potential. I think Mavirus is okay. That's why you keep the Devil Charm for it. Oh, we lost to Benhar, which is not great. All right, we can Dirty Laundry first if we want to. We'll have more money. That's probably right. We want to have money to touch things. Space tempo. Like Gagarin? Laundry then tread lightly? Yeah, I think so. So we don't want to trash that. Now we'll tread. So let's see if we get that number to go up 1. Tread lightly. So this is +4 credits. So like, gets pretty bad pretty fast. Laundry HQ? No, I don't want to spend credits. Nope. No Reina. Bummer. This is going to be Forced Connection for sure. Yeah, there's the Forced Connection. So we're just going to take 2 tags. Trace 9. Great. Do we trash this? Yeah, that's fine. Urban Renewal. Okay. Now I think we just lose. I think we just lose to Forced Connection. We know there's an end line in hand. She might not have 2 end lines, so I think we just trash this Vigator and go for there. Watch it be double Forced Connection. Just the fact that this card doesn't do anything. Like, what the hell? All right, we have to deal with this shit. We cannot give her more money. We lose to money. Oh, she's actually on big agendas. I think she's on 5/3s. So we don't have to draw here. We'll just take a credit. Imagine we're Hoshiko. The City Works Overseer Matrix Gagarin. I feel like I don't remember Overseer. Like I don't remember playing against Overseer Matrix decks. I know they're good. Hannah would have been okay. All right, now we have to win off singles. Tempo, end of the line, missing our Steel Skin Scarring. Ow, my everything. That was there. That was a that was an option. All right, we don't die to an enemy. Can't res an enemy. The thing's still legal and miserable. Yeah, but like countable how many times I played against that deck or that card on this. We only have 1 credit. Yeah, we knew that was a wall to wall. That's fine. We still touch cards. That means the Spin Doctor will probably be chased out. So we want to draw once so that we don't die to end the line. We can draw here. We'll keep the dirty laundry for later. We'll just touch R&D. We should go HQ. It's just like, we need to keep our money up. That's good. Oh yeah, with the spin doctor, that's really good. Yeah, so here she might actually want to use the spin doctor so that this actually has all the text. Because now this only does one thing. I think it's going to be the credit. It's really good that we're getting free card draw. This is our Hoshiko button. Oh, no Anacom. All right. Who's in for the grind? Just play economy cards. I mean, we win this turn, right? We so win this turn. Force Connection is less miserable card than Keeling. Change my mind. It's weird. Like, people never play this card. And if you pay 4 to make it a snare, like a 7 snare for 2 tags, like, isn't that fine? Just pay 4 every time. I don't think we have to deal with these. I think we either run HQ or we run R&D. She's gone through a lot of cards. There has to be an agenda in HQ. The problem is that running HQ costs us 3 credits. And I don't want to pay 3 credits. So what do we lose to on the table? There's a Molly in server 10, which she could blank our Lagu. It actually probably was worth it. Wall to wall. So we could do check, check, run R&D. Hey D, aren't like most cards less miserable than Keeling? Yeah, well, IT department. But yeah, I think so. On average, yeah. How you doing, D? We probably should go HQ. I just can't afford to do it. What am I drawing for? An economy card. Thinking. I wrote it. That's good. 3 shirt gambles are out. 2 dirty laundries are out. 1 raindrops left in the deck. Not a lot of money. Pull up the chart. I guess we can check these. I'm not sure what we're worried about. Another spin might be interesting. It is another spin. Yeah, okay. So how do we die? We die to like... I don't care about the table anymore. We win on a single axis. Ah! Oh, we only have 1 tag. That's kind of a nice world to live in. We're gonna just keep drawing. Oh, that's cool. We can install that and see what happens. Because in theory, this threatens every single spin doctor. Watch Andre rank cards by misery. Banhar is an economy card? Yeah, only sort of. Triple credit. Okay, so that means that we're probably dead this turn. Action. I'm just doing this to see what will happen. Because in theory, we can like light the fire this spin doctor or the other spin doctor. So if she wants to like use her spin doctors, it's now or never. That being said, I don't think we take a quarter. yeah. So fair. Totally fair. I think we just run HQ here. I don't think we care about these. I'm running HQ. It's we know the top deck is, we know Public Trail is the only card in hand. Maybe fight with Jeff over replacements. Favorite part of the tier list video. The fact that we only get 1 tier list video a year. Oh man. So this spin doctor could be rezzed, the second one, to like dilute the hand. But there has to be points in hand. No? Okay, so we need 2 cards in hand, excuse me. And she just needs credits. So now I'm scared. Because all she did was credits this turn and her board state didn't change. So she has 1 end of the line, but we only have a single tag. So Public Trail end of line is a lot. Do we check server 14? What could it possibly be? I don't understand this board state. That's good, but I assume this will fire on its own merits. Whatever, I don't know what server 14 is. Die to Ronin? Oh, nice. Reverse account's cool. You just remove a tag? I don't think I care to, though. She has a Public Trail, right? Like, it's still going to be kind of hard to kill us with 5 cards in hand. Like, I'm excited to see what I'm not playing around, but like, if we don't clear tags, we don't have to care about half of those cards. I'm such a sucker for tier list content, evoke so many no effing way, get out of here emotions, and I love that. It's one thing when those come to be like kind of vile, where it's like, these guys are jokers. But it's another one to be like, I just disagree with you, but it's cool to hear what you're talking about. All right, now it's getting scary. Reaper end of line kills. Yeah, but we know what server 10 is. We know what 15 is. All we have to do is check 14 and then we're entirely safe. She threw out a card there? What is the combo kill? Public Trail end of line is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh shit, we died at Public Trail end of line. So we just have to clear a tag here. Malia's blanking to light the fire. Oh wait, that's really funny. That's really, really funny. Wait, that's her action. It was not the Malia. So forced connection goes back. Okay. So now I think we just run R&D for a single and then clear the tag. We'll have to deal with Mystic though. So we probably just like strike fund clear the tag. Because public trail on the line won't do it. It had to be public trail. Server 4 has to be a Reaper. What's Reaper to trash? 2? So we could just like run Reaper, clear the tag. Oh, we won't have money. 14, no, 15 is Spin Doctor. Yeah, 15 is Spin Doctor. We don't know what 14 is. It was Reaper, you died last turn. Oh, that's very true. Yeah, you're right. I think we just do Strike Fund, remove tag. So you can do Public Trail end the line. I don't know if you do the last damage. We're on threat. You could do multiple, you could do Public Trail end the line into Angelique. We died at that. The 5th card actually might have been important because we do die to Angelique from hand. That is the only thing we die to. That being said, it's like 8 credits and she has to take a shot. I think we're fine if she clicks for credit. Sick. I always forget that Malia is non-virtual. It rarely matters, but it's game losing when you forget. Well, a lot of like some of the cards that care about that sort of stuff are virtual, like No One Home. All right, good old 3 credit Reina. 3 credit Reina. Angelique is terrifying. Yeah, Angelique can be pretty annoying. We'll check this first. It's a reverse to counts. Feels like if she trashes it, we save money. Whatever. We can run HQ here for click descent. Just touch cards, 14 strength on Makua. The fact that this now costs 1 credit is fine. Yeah, so we know Public Trail end the line descent is coming up. Imagine we drew cards clicklessly. We have no hedge funds. It's going to be really hard to make Mystic work for us. Oh man, we'd be so easy if we were Hoshiko here. I consider Angelique in my Scorp list for maximum grief potential also because you can friends her. Yeah, but you can't friends her to like expend. You can just friends her to friends her, right? Why is she clinging for credits? What is she? There's some breakpoint on a combo we don't know. Pivot? Okay. So she's getting an Oppo research and she's playing an Oppo research. Okay, so we have 4 tags. Does that change anything? Where are the damn agendas? We run R&D, click for credit, run HQ, right? Like eventually we'll just win. There's not that many cards in the game. Is server 14 an agenda? How do we lose on 4 tags? Double end the line is how we lose. Oh, so we have to win this turn. Yeah, we lose to double end the line now. What a way to lose. Do we have any steel skins left? This is so frustrating. All right, we just have to hope, and even that doesn't do anything. Yeah. We just died a double end the line. I don't know how we haven't found a point. Yeah, good game. All right, Reina does 3 credits worth of financial damage. Again, don't do this. 1 basalt. Dang. What was 14? How long has that 3 been there? I don't know. Oh, this Reina the whole game. But it's been on 3 for like 6-7 turns. It's a forced connection. Okay, cool. So it didn't really matter. And we knew the Spin Doctor. Yeah, so there's only 3, 4, 5. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 points and 13 of R&D. Thanks, you too. Like, the play might have been just to clear tags and do nothing. But there's 10 points and 13 of R&D and we couldn't find it. Yeah, and like, no joke, in this game, if we were Hoshiko, we would have had a lot more cards here. We would have bottomed out. All right. Reina. We'll do again another one. And then at that point, we'll build another Reina deck that does more Reina stuff, I think. But the frustration is going to begin. That's for sure. How's everyone doing? It's a count of Reina uses? Yeah, it's the count of Reina fires. It fired 3 times that game. The first one was on an Ice Wall on turn 1, a border control, and an Afshar. No, the after was just rezzed. So I don't actually know. Duckland value end of line. It missed the steel skin. There was 10 points and 13 in R&D. I'm just sitting there trying to touch cards. Oh, outfit. John, how's it going? Zen, how you doing? Hey, best of luck. Have fun. So outfit can be a lot of kind of miserable things modernly. It's another deck where Reina's ability is not going to matter that much because face checking is a bit difficult. They mulligan. So there's like misery outfit with like slash and what's it called? The one that destroys programs. If we do get down like a devil charm, we can eat the outfit ice, which is kind of nice. Now this hand has twinning and laborites, which are useless. Lagu is only a 2 of, so it's okay, but I don't like the rest of this hand. We're really trying to find. Well, that's not bad. Banhar is really good too. The frustration is going to be how's everyone doing is such a funny segue. I think we definitely could have sat around doing nothing for a few turns. There was no kill threat if we weren't interacting. Yeah, but we also could win, right? Like we were on game point for like 7 turns and we touched so many different cards. And by so many different cards, I mean the same public trail 4 times. All right. Are we touching cards on turn 1? Yeah, we are. Let's find out what the deck is. Did our opponent mull? Atom Smasher kept. Is this a Smurf? Archer? Okay. So Tucana probably, right? So we probably get the Banhar down. Banhar could be eaten by Under the Bus, but there's not much we can do about that. Imagine we were Hoshiko, but it's fine. This is a really good Banhar hand. Hot take. What if we do swap the idea and make no other changes and have better games? Yes. It would. It would. Even Quetzal would be better in that matchup, right? Like Quetzal would have been so much better in that last matchup. I loved Reina back in the day, but I can't be thrilled with identity abilities that are dependent on the opponent's game, not your own. Like, imagine you play against an NEH deck that runs no ice. And that's the issue with like Derez too. And it's hard to make that all balance out, but just tricky. Trash time. We die to envelopment. No, not even because of steel skin. So Mystic, Banhar, server 1. Let's find out what this is. We have 4 credits with bad publicity. That should trash everything. I'm assuming it's like a Rashida or something. They'll get their second bad publicity, which is important. Reina was great when decks were playing like 18 ice and not like 5. I wouldn't even see great. I would say Reina was an option you could do. Like we used to have, what's his name? Like Hernando Cortez. It's a free Rashida. Okay, that's scary. We need to find an Amik. This hand is absurd. I can't play this hand. It is too perfect. Let's just touch cards. Spin Doctor, okay, for credit. It's under red cap. Man, the excitement of the R&D slot machine is so good. The haters are correct. Great call from the haters. Yes. Yeah, for sure. It's really funny. Is this peak Anarch performance? Imagine we run an ice and it's a trebuchet and hits 2 strike funds. And then we have to play a steel skin from our hand. It's going to happen. Now, if Adam doesn't put something in their remote server, we're just running HQ. This is a Bellaccio hand. Sort by type, sort by color, sort by rank. I think it's a high card. There's no moshing in this list, I don't think. There's no way there's a moshing. Oh, there's 2 moshing. Okay, there's moshing in this list. The thing is, like, the innermost Valenciao can end the run. That's okay. The innermost Trebuchet. We know one of these could be an Archer, which is, like, obviously not an agenda we have to worry about. Holy shit. This is punitive. This is our hand into punitive? I mean, touch it now while you can. I don't care about punitive. I want to see what this hand does. This is going to be a pile of interactions. With Reina, I think it's a more full studio apartment. Cronus, how's it going? Let's see what happens here. My finger's on the button. Let's see if this is going to be a 4-cost or 5-cost trebuchet. And then we still have to take 2 damage. There's no way to get advancements on this. Oh no, it's a boarding control. We knew that. So hey, 5 credit boarding control. Set them up for too big to fail. Don't worry about it. Yeet. Yeet. We become stronger. We will continue. Now, if they res a trebuchet, we will lose our Banhar. That seems bad. But this could be neuro. It's not. It's easy. We are stronger than we've ever been. We missed every single strike fund. Reina cost 1 credit. So now punitive, with 2 steel skins out, with 3 steel skins out, punitive seems like a way worse thing to be playing into at this moment. So, luckily, we just have to get a lot of money very quickly. We could still lose here. It is possible to lose the game on this board state. And I'm just going to labor rights in my steel skins. We trashed an Onicom. That's not good. I'll just get those back in there. Okay, now it could be in our hand. 10-9. I don't know if we die. Reina does have Link, just like Hoshiko. Don't get carried away. We might die to like too big to fail public trail, but I don't think so. I think with the Link, we're actually okay. On vibes, not on math. Too big to fail. We're on too bad publicity. Under the bus. That does see play. Mind you, Odal's list from Worlds in 2023, top 3, ran a bunch of under the buses to kill Banhar and other things. Okay. So if this is a trebuchet, it can't hurt us. But that being said, we can just get crew and set up. On hindsight, I don't care what happens to Mystic Miami. She's done so much for us already. And I need to hit this button. It's a descent. That is sad. That is miserable. Now, we can trash it with a crew. I don't think it's worth it. Because there's better ice, like border control. Now, this list must be modified because descent didn't exist in 2023. But punitive is here, so we're going to install liberated, I think. I just don't like this hand because we can't interact that well. And they can definitely push next turn. I'm not sure what we're meant to do about that. I think we draw and throw out whatever our worst card is. It's not that. That is fine. This wasn't rezzed, mind you, so I don't know what this is. It's probably the Archer. My guess is this is the Archer and they're waiting for a hostile, because that would have been rezzed if it was a Valenjao, Trebuchet, even just like a Magnet, they would have rezzed. So my guess here is we throw out not the Hannah, probably the Hannah because of this border control. I don't think we install Lib. I think we could. I just don't think we can afford to now. But I think we could. My guess is Labor Rights is the worst card in this hand. Right? Like eventually when it becomes a punitive problem, we just have to get more money, and like Liberated solves that, a lot of that. The issue is though, like we want to be set up that we can contest the remote server and we're not, and they're in like the hostile waiting room. I don't know if crew HQ trash is right. It's expensive because we have to pay 4 and a tag. Not that floating the tag should matter, but this list is on 3 punitive for sure. And they're on 3 bad publicity. So this is usually where we like halt the brakes and don't interact. Okay. So Rashida or above the law. Shame about our ID box. I think we just run this. I'm pretty confident this is an Archer. If it's a Trebuchet and they didn't want to trash our Banhar, maybe that could be something. Like we could lose the Cleaver here, but my read is that this is the Archer. Whatever, Reina gets to do something. No further. I think it's the Archer. Hostile. Whoa, huge steal. We're on game point. Playing against punitive, that's massive. They could have scored that from hand, but they didn't. They pushed it. That's good to have. I don't think we're going to need it. I think we just draw and throw at Hannah here. Yeah, they definitely drew it off of like the first click or second click draw. Descend is back in hand. Okay, that's cool. It makes it harder for us to know what's running HQ. But we are on game point, especially into a punitive list. So that could be the descent. It might not be, but it obviously could be. It's likely that the descent moves here. If we have more money, also, we do just beat like Valenjao because we can out credit it, and bad publicity does count. So if that's a hostile, I think we're okay. We can let it go. I think we're going to now play the steel skin and just continue to set up. We want to find Devil Charms so we can face check. All right. I think we're just going to set up this turn. Alago could get hit by above of the law, but this could only be a hostile for that to be bad for us, and even then that's okay. So Rashida, it's fine. We don't want to run to give them the 4th bad publicity because then the red caps kind of sneak out of hand. So we will Lagu, crew. I think that's it. We could Moshing, the Liberated, Strike Fund, and Laundry. We probably do that, actually. Nice. Biobands goes pretty hard in a world where you have bad publicity, that's for sure. So we could do Leech, run our archives, but I think getting the Lagu down is the best thing we could do. So we could do Biobands archives, draw 2, install Lagu. I don't think we discard then, because we played 2, draw 2. No, that discards a card. So we should do Leech Biobands, yeah. So buy bins, draw 2. Stall a cost, paying 1 less. Lagu for free. Get a leech counter, which is important. Go from there. Yeah, we can leech per fight. Yeah, that cooks, so it's way better. Did anyone mention Kato's interview with Rascal Radio about Netrunner? No, Pat. I knew nothing about that. What can you tell us about it? Not scoring. So Angelique shows up in the original list as like a 2 of. So there are just like defensive upgrades, quote unquote. But with the crew in hand and leech at 4, we can face check into anything because we can eat archers, we can eat other stuff. Tread lightly, okay. Good old 2 Reina. So here we just do crew, Achosera Screw, Devil Charm, and we could run this. It's getting more difficult. I think I'd rather run HQ to get a red cap out of hand. Yeah, we can do Charm, Crew, run HQ. No matter what it is, it blows up, and then there's an open HQ. Again, Amakuo should show up. We're 49 cards, and we don't have Yoshiko card draw. We can nuke something. It might just be the Descent. Again, that's just free Reina trigger forever. Infinite Reina. Winchester. That one's annoying. I think we blow this up. So that's a 5-cost Winchester, so we'll Devil Charm it. It's a shame that we're not Devil Charming something more annoying, but Winchester is just like a pretty well-positioned dice in general. So 6, Crew for free. Open HQ, free leech counters, steal a red cap, win. Trojan Horse, okay. Touche. Touche. We'll keep going. There's agendas in here or 1 in the remote. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's not points. Oh, I thought we were on 7. Okay, never mind. Keep playing. Rashida's nice. Now they can't too big to fail that easily. They could install an ice too big to fail and then like Trojan Horse. It's our 10th anniversary today. Went out for a nice dinner, got home. She whispered in my ear, should we check out what Andre is doing? Sorry y'all didn't have a stream on Wednesday, but congratulations on the anniversary. That's really, really cute. Hopefully y'all having a good time. Lagu on archives. I've never seen that interaction. And then hedge fund. Okay, they're on 15. So we want to wait for another Devil Charm. We're not in a rush to do anything. I'll play the Steel Skin for sure. This is definitely an upgrade. We have Amaku. If we run archives, this is probably an Angelique. I don't mind Angelique too much. With Leech Crew, we're just 1 token away from really popping off. That's a one way of characterizing it. But we're in a pretty comfortable situation, so we just don't want to overextend. We could do double crew, but then like we're gonna beef it. Oh, we should have done this in the other order. Sorry, I forgot we had a twinning here. I'm just gonna install a crew and chill. Yeah, happy anniversary, both y'all. Charge twinning, surely. Yes, yeah, I definitely missed that we had a twinning in the hand. Is this deck's only companion Mystic? Yeah, 2 Mystic, 1 twinning. Cool. They're drawing again. If you don't interact, they don't get the red cap 4. Free card draw is sick. Got a moshing. Okay. Well, we can mosh a couple of these cards, but we just want to find the Devil Charms. Let's look at our heap to see if that's something we can actually draw into. Every Devil Charm is on our bottom 13. Okay. You already used Miami? Charge what? Shit. I was so confident. I didn't even look that there's no number in the middle of the twinning. That's fine. Yeah, we drew off the Steel Skin for sure. We didn't get it. It's first time I turn. I didn't know what the turn was. It was a blur. Okay. So running archives will take some damage. It's a sick tread lightly. It is a really sick tread lightly. The problem is we actually have to do like crew tread lightly. I think we can do it because it's fun, but I don't know what this would be. If it's a red cap, you don't push it. If it's a hostile, you don't push it. Like I'd much rather run HQ. The problem is like if it's a 6 cost, like we're pretty sure this is an archer, this is whatever. And so we're worried about Valenchow, which is 6 strength, but we have more money and we're worried about Trebuchet. So we could do like second crew and then we could like take a tag 3 leech counters. That sounds like an absolute pain. I don't want to do that. I don't think there's many X-Polygon people there. Sorry, Pat. Being incredibly enthusiastic about Netrunner to an interviewer who comes in only with a little knowledge. Oh, cool. Like it's probably Amakua run archives. The deck is on 3 Mavirus though. That's actually something we have to watch out. The deck is classically on 3 Mavirus. So we're just going to need Devil Charms. I think we mosh, not the Amakua. We'll draw once and then mosh whatever we get there. Yeah, we'll mosh that for sure. Not enough Devil Charms yet. Drew our Anacom. Yeah, there's probably a virus here or here. We can mosh the crewing in hand. No, we want this crew. It's really good and it compounds. Like, trashing their ice will win the game. We probably should just play an event this turn. Issues we can't, so we're not going to charge the twinning. This gives us some safety, but if it isn't the virus, and the list was on 3 Mavirus in Worlds 2023, so I don't want to like face check into a Trebuchet. We don't get incredibly blown out, like losing the cleavers, whatever. We stop lagoing here? Yeah, I think we do, because we need to find the Devil Charms. There's 2 and 8, so they're drawing. Again, stalling out on 3 bad publicity. They need to find here a way to like under the bus this Lagu, I think, or the crew. Tread lightly works on any server. I know, but like then we lose when they trebuchet us, and then they're on 4 bad publicity. They score the red cap. Like it's not worth much. I wouldn't say then we lose. It's just like it's not a great play for us. I know you can tread lightly centrals. I just don't want to hit a balance. I don't want to hit a trebuchet. We don't have to take that risk here. We're very, very far ahead. Nice. I'm tread lightly just because it's Mystic. The problem is like we're not going to get a... We're now not going to get another Reina. Could I just ran Archives? There's either Mavirus or an Angelique in there. We could ran and jack out, but that's probably not worth it. Like, again, we're up 6 points. We don't need to get this every turn. How many labor rates are left? 1. I think it's on 3, right? No, we have no more labor rates, so we have no recursion. There is a thimble rig for 3. And we can't break it easily. We have the capability of -7 and ice on the board. Yeah, but they have a Mavirus for sure in server 1 or in Archives. Again, the deck's on 3 Mavirus. We can't run if we're depending on Leech. No. I'm good. Well, I'm a cool runner next time. That's fine. Thimble rig for 6? Wait, was it 6? Yeah, you're right. It was a 6 credit thimble rig. I forgot that was a light the fire. That's the most expensive thimble rig I've ever seen. Currently, 1 tread lightly has done just about all of Reina. Like 1 tread lightly to 3, Reina has done 4. Like, what is going on? When your ID box is worse than tread lightly. Pivot for too big to fail there on 4 bad publicity. Okay, so now red cap can happen. So we either sweep HQ or likely we just Amakua. We can do Amakua run Archives easily. Government subsidy, okay. There might be points in Archives. This might be a spin doctor. The other card I expect to see at Arena is Diversion. I don't expect Diversion because it's so much influence. I expect like E shutdown. I expect En Passant. If they start scoring red caps, how quickly do we lose? We should run Archives sooner than later. We don't have to be that scared. I'd rather see 2 cards in HQ than R&D, so I'm going to see 1 card on R&D here. The tread lightly turned down the too big to fail. I know. I was pivoted for 2. Should Reina be Crim? No, we have 419. That's just like way more interesting than Reina. Reina should just rotate, which is happening. I'm going to see 1 card here. The agendas are in HQ. Okay, that's good to know. So now we can run HQ. If it is a snare, sorry, if it's a Mavirus, we can deal with it, but we can see 2 cards here. Oh, sorry. Sorry. We'll raindrops just so that we have another twinning counter. Is that the elevation scoop? Like 419 does so much more than Reina because it fires on every single turn. And if you don't get the credit, you get information, and information is so much more valuable on so many more board states. Like 419 lets you just play good stuff without having to deal with this, which is like you have to face check. It's only on turns if they're playing ice. Like 419 just works all the time. It is a trebuchet. Okay. So they didn't pop up a virus here. So now we're on 5 bad publicity. So we can counter it. We can just destroy it. We know we're going to lose a crew. Now the question is if we risk it here, if this is a trebuchet into a Mavirus, we can get slightly blown out. I'm going to take that risk. We also got another Reina, excuse me. Nice, 5 credits. What's weird is they printed some weird Econ Denial Shaper cards somewhere in the middle of like the Mars cycle, and no one's played any of them. And they're kind of cool, but they're like 2 influence Shaper cards, so they're absolute nonsense. There's like one that says that every ice costs 1 more for each ice on the server, except they're not unique, so you can play all 3 and be like the first ice costs 4 credits. Like that's cool. Totally. Yeah, I think there is a Mavirus here, so we might get slightly blown out. Yeah, there you go. This is why. So now if this is a trebuchet, it's like kind of bad. In theory, they should do it while we're approaching so we can't jack out. The timing wrong here, we could jack out, but this is what we're playing around. It's just going to happen. It's fine. I think twinning is the best thing for them to hit. If they hit the Amakua, we're not too upset because we have one more. And this will fire raindrops, which means we'll probably draw it. The twinning is probably what they should target here. They have hard choices because likely seeing 2 here, we're going to win the game. We'll trace through the trace 6 for sure. Reina does have a link and we have bad publicity, so it only costs us 3. Let alone we get the money back. They trash the cleaver. That's fine. I wonder if they can lock us out. They'd have to move the thimble rig somewhere really, really clever. It can't be that hard. But we have one more Devil Charm. We'll beat it. Cost us just a couple credits. And we'll see 3 cards here. We should win. Nope. Yep. Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. GG. Yeah, I think they should go for the twinning there. They actually would have survived another turn. Thanks for the game. One thing I wonder, is it possible to make a balanced pad tap? I think it's possible. It's just really hard to balance. I think it depends on what else Criminal does. But I think the click and like 3 credits is just way too much. Hey, cheers. Are we allowed to take up the Reina counter for Link firing? No, because Hoshiko has Link. So Reina Roja did mostly what a single tread lightly does. It was 5 credits. Can you argue that the credits really mattered? No. 10 credits to spare. I don't think it really changed the game plan here. We just absolutely like got through the remote server really early. We're pretty sure that was an archer, but yeah. We'll build a Hoshiko deck that might swing into it. But currently, so far, I think Reina's fired 8 times in 2 games, which like for your ID ability, not great. Okay. News. First news. Null Games is at Gamma, which I believe is like a board game convention for people who make board games specifically. I think it's like a industry convention, if I'm not mistaken. Gamma Expo 2025 will be taking place in Louisville, Kentucky from February 23rd to 27th. It's one of the premier international board game industry trade shows. Yeah, so it is. It's an opportunity for professionals across all aspects of the industry to gather in order to share knowledge, network, and stay up to date for upcoming releases. This will be NSG's first time officially attending. And as you might expect for any scrappy band of hackers, we plan to go all out. That's really, really cool, really exciting, especially again this year, where I also think this year you're going to see more Netrunner in stores because I think NSG is going to be a bit more like, the fact that their format doesn't require you to have FOG cards, they're probably going to be a bit more aggressive at getting this out in front of people, which I think is pretty sick. So if you're in the area in Louisville, which is in Kentucky, which is in the America, that is coming up. This is from Drew. I've got to meet Drew at Worlds. Drew is really, really cool. I know that Drew has been working on some like learn to play products, like some starter decks and stuff like that. And I'm excited to hear the future of it because they looked really cool. I didn't get to see them. I heard about them at Worlds. I think they were there prototyping them. But Drew does some really cool stuff behind the scenes. My LGS owners are going. Keep telling them to check out NSG, but we'll see. Oh, super cool. Missed breakfast hour watching Metropole. So you don't get breakfast, Jai? HS Netrunner was a format where they made all IDs legal and then boosted the weaker IDs back to strength of the powerful ones. It's a bit wild. Huh. Drew's legit the best dude. Yeah, Drew's really, really cool. Gamma is strictly for industry, not free entry, to be clear. Okay, good to know. That's really cool. If you're part of the industry, if you know people who are going, you can always get them to check out the NSG booth. They're doing great stuff. That's for sure. Other big news, megacity locations announced. For those who need this to be translated, because you're still in the old language, megacities are nationals. So a lot of countries have 1. Some of the bigger countries have up to 3. And these are things that people applied for at the end of last year. And the applications have gone out and people have got their bids. And we now get to see where the megacities are. Even though districts are just getting started, says Jeff, it's time to share where the megacity championship events will be held. These are mostly meant to be 2-day affairs and attract people from a wider area than a district. Yeah, whole weekend usually, which is pretty cool. Full pricing will be announced in a few weeks, but we do have this great playmat to share. And this is our first art that we get to see, if I'm not mistaken, from the new set elevation card art. I'm assuming this is not an alt art for a known card. Shout out in the background, that is the sort of silkworm thing. We won't say anything more, urethra, but very, very cool art. This jacket is like super reminiscent of Ken's jacket with these like hacker little stud flares and this like metal helmet. I don't know if this is one of the upcoming characters. It could be. My assumption that is this is a criminal card, firstly, because it is blue. I know most of the heavy lifting is done by the sky, but that still counts. And secondly, this is somebody who is doing the actual work themselves. They are out there on a zip line doing the leg work, which is a really cool thing. Like there's a chance that this could be the modern legwork. I wouldn't be surprised. Criminals on ropes doing stuff has just been in the card pool for a really, really long time. So that's really cool. I also really like this Mega City Championships logo, like legit, kind of quite nice. The sort of like isometric hexagons with the number in it. I think that's really, really cool. And even being like 3 regions and apart. Always have a black and plan coded? Yeah, maybe too. It could be. This hopper is like super, super. This to me, this hopper feels like, I don't know who this artist is, but that's the kind of style that you saw in Keyforge for some of the alien factions, very like 50s Mars retro. But yeah, that logo's my work. Oh, Crore. I like it. I like it a lot. But this art is fantastic. I'm really excited to see the card and see the playmat. Very, very cool. Compare with the Districts logo. The logo designs are really nice. I don't know if I've seen the Districts logo yet because I don't have my play kit soon, but I should soon for sure. Sorry, Pat. This is sick. Hey, Cephalbot, how's it going? Gamma is basically game companies' promo games to FLGS owners and buyers. Used to go as a store manager. Oh, cool. Up to 3, count the US? I thought the US was 3, but I might be wrong. It's a fantastic artist who's new for Elevation. Oh, sick. So we don't actually know who this is yet. That's awesome. That's really, really cool to see like one piece by an artist who probably or might have more art now or in the future. That's awesome. As a reminder, if you win a district championship buy, it must be used at a Megacity event this year. So I think that's a really cool thing that buys are back this year. So if you win your districts, you can cash it in a Megacity, and that means their first round, you don't have to play Netrunner and you just win. Because it's single-sided Swiss, the buy is not as good as it was back in the day with double-sided Swiss, but that's still a really cool thing. And back in the day, we had so many situations where somebody won the buy in a district and they were like, were you planning to go to the Megacity? And they were like, nah, I wasn't, but now we probably will because I have a buy, and that feels like a silly thing to like kind of throw in the garbage. So I'm really excited. I'm happy to see that. So there's a bit of a narrative and the structure. Mind you, this is the first year where like things are like tightly compacted, where every district has to be in these months, every Megacity has to be in these months. And the reason is stuff like this, just so that everyone has a buy, can bring it to the next event. So just keep that in mind. A buy one at Megacities, mind you, can be used at Continentals, and Continentals can be used at Worlds, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, here's some locations. Please find a list of all locations which have been approved to run a Megacity Championship below, alongside a link to the ABR.net entry if available. Keep an eye on ABR as it becomes more populated with more megacities, and you get to see where things are happening. There's one in Shenzhen, in Mandaluyong in the Philippines. There's going to be an event in Singapore, in Adelaide and Canberra. Don't know how to say that right. In Europe, Middle East, and Africa, we have in Belgium, in Czech Republic, in France, in Germany, in Ireland, in Bergamo, that's sick, in Poland, in Russia, in Sweden, in Switzerland, and in the UK has one. I'm surprised about the UK only has one, but it's in Sheffield. I think that's going to be a massively attended event. And check this shit out. We got our bid. We're going to be running Megacity. Again, it's going to be between, I believe it's May to August, I think is the window, May to July. So we're going to be running a Nationals, a Megacity here in Montreal. The last time I got to run one of these events was 2 years ago, and it was like one of my favorite events I've ever ran. So you'll hear more information about it for sure as soon as I know more. But if you want to come in to Montreal to hang out, spend a whole weekend, or going to do it at the Silver Goblin, it's just my favorite space to play Netrunner. We had a fantastic time doing this, and we're so excited to be able to do it again. So that's sick. From May to July. Okay, so it'll be like early summer probably. Very important too, all the district championships are going to be in the old meta, and the Megacities are going to be in the new meta with the new Megacity in Elevation. So people are really excited for that. Otherwise, if you're in Canada, you're on the West Coast, Vancouver gets it. It seems like it's going to be bouncing between Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, and then like Calgary or Edmonton. So that's cool because Canada's really big. Oh shit, the US has more than 3. The US has that many? Brooklyn, Burbank, that's California. Dallas is Texas. Denver is Colorado. Milwaukee is Wisconsin. Where do they put Milwaukee? Wisconsin? Pittsburgh, that's in Philly. So there's a whole bunch of things here spread out, and there's some in the middle of America, which is usually kind of underserved. So it's nice that there's something in Texas. And I think Colorado is kind of the middle of America. Might see if I can make Burbank. That's really cool. Is this a Reina reacts to the grid video? No, it's how many times Reina has fired. And so far in the news segment, 0 times. This is really sick. Glad there's a lot of events going on. I do need to say this. Unfortunately, this is going to come up sooner than later, and this is going to be a bit of a bummer on this topic, but we have a bit of a problem this year specifically, and that is with things going on in the States right now as a Canadian. The tone is going to shift really radically here, that's for sure. But I just want to say off the top that this year, specifically when it comes to me, I won't be traveling to events in America. And that's because currently the situation between Canada and America sucks a lot of ass, and it's really quite bad. And I don't think I'm in a position where I can cross that border and like interact with American economy systems and all that sort of stuff. It sucks ass. It's really painful. A lot of my friends are in the States. Obviously, a lot of these folks are not behind this sort of stuff. But like generally, as a Netrunner player here in Canada, there is a lot of reason that I'm not going to be traveling to America this year. And it's not easy. Like it's really, really painful. I wish it wasn't that way, but in good faith, I cannot do it. That's also really bad because I want Americans to come to our event, and I hope they do. They're very, very welcome here. I want to be very clear. As much as it's an anti-American sentiment, it is not an anti-American sentiment. A lot of my best friends are Americans. Like, I'm not angry at them. It's not their fault. But otherwise, there's some really bad shit going on that's probably pretty apparent, and we're not going to be supporting it like that. If you want to come into Montreal, our dollar is probably pretty easy to get your hands on. So your money goes pretty far here, it turns out. But if you want to come to this event, I promise you, you will not be seen as somebody who we're excited to greet you with open arms. The other way doesn't feel like that. It's not going to work like that, unfortunately. I do not know what it's going to take for that to change, but this is something I've kind of largely decided over the last couple of weeks that it's going to take. I don't know what's going to take for me to cross the border to do anything, let alone like go out and play cards, which sucks. It sucks a lot of ass. I got to say no to a lot of cool things going on this year, especially because organized play is really popping off. If you feel strongly about that, you want to talk about it in any sort of like respectful way, I'd be down to hear it. But right now it is just a really awkward position. I do not want to be seen crossing the border and having a great time down there. If I come to all his events, do I have to go back? Yeah, sorry about that. It really sucks here. Things are really wild for what it's worth. Like over the last couple of weeks, Canadians, we're not flag waving weirdos. And now we've kind of become that. Like you go to the grocery store, people are checking where food is coming from. Like things are shifting in a way that's like kind of bringing the nation together in a strange way. But like, especially in Quebec, which is also like its very own thing, the sentiment here is strange. But again, not as a way that you showed up and crossed the border and came out. We would not like give huge high fives and be happy you're here. But it is weird. And I don't know how it's going to get better. So it's a strange year for Netrunner travel. I'm sorry about that. Especially because these events are like travelable. We love you, Americans. We got to stick around in our country for now. Yeah. Hey, Kimmel, wish I could be up with you. Bummer. It's really horrible overall. Imagine I feel even worse if you're sharing a border. Yeah, it's not great. Hey, Stweed, very understandable. Gonna have to try to make it to Montreal this megacity season. Yeah, I feel like a hypocrite. Like I want to be very clear. If I'm advertising an event, whether it's a district or megacity, and I'm not traveling to your event, if you think that is like a two-way street and I'm not doing my work, I hear you. You don't have to come. But if you want to come, I just want to be very clear. Nobody's upset at you. Please come. We'd love for you to come. Please. It's like we're on house arrest. We like to have guests. It'd be quite nice. People are not going to America anymore here. Absolutely no shade for wanting to interact with our everything right now. Yeah. Conrad, we will pack you in a box and ship you like normal to Abu Dhabi. I would love to chill with Americans at the MTL Megacities. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Country wants you to be afraid of them, so I feel bad for you. Yeah, it's not great. Please do come further and stretch your dollar 1.4x further. Thanks, Conrad. I'm excited to be in Montreal. I'm very not excited to cross the border. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like border crossings seem really stressful for a whole bunch of people for a whole bunch of reasons you're all probably aware of. If you're not feeling good crossing the border, don't, I guess. Like I don't know enough about it, but like there's so many reasons to be upset about a lot of things, and it's kind of dodged this channel, but like we got to put our foot down here. Like NPC events, like Cold Lava's running an event in Jersey. I would be down there in a heartbeat if I could, but it's not this year, unfortunately. I saw a short showing that Canadian-made food had been moved to eye level in stores. Having worked in that industry, that's a big thing. Yeah, people are very clear. They're advertising stuff that's Canadian and it's selling. Like people are just changing for sure. Will you be covering the Canadian events on this channel? Yeah, 100%. As much as I can. Like this is the cool thing about running a district and also obviously running a megacities is that we got a nice camera now. Like we're going to be there. We're going to be filming. I don't think I'm going to live stream anything because that just takes too much work and I need to be running an event. My priority is run the event well and then do the content secondarily. Unfortunately, because the districts are in the old meta and right before the rotation, that's probably not a good thing to sink a lot of video time into. So maybe we'll only film the top cut. I don't know. I don't want to spend like, the 100 of hours recording that and then it's a meta that everyone just like, I don't care about this. It's like 2 weeks and then it's gone. So that's a bit awkward, but for this, so stoked. That's for sure stoked. And then here up, mind you, we have events. There's districts in Gatineau, in Toronto. Those are the closest around here. So that's the sort of stuff as Canadians, I think we're going to make a good effort to travel to for obvious reasons. So yeah. Free Dublin Astro World. Trans people not being able to get passports going to make traveling for Netrunner harder for a lot of Netrunners. Yeah. It's not good. It's obviously really, really bad. I imagine it will get better. Obviously it will get better. Be very clear about that. But yeah, this year it's strange. It's strange. Hopefully everyone's doing okay. My passport is expiring in June. It's very possible I'll not be able to renew it. Fuck D. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Shout out to this though. This is cool. I'm glad this stuff is happening. You got a lot of options. Also, mind you, just like districts, and I might misspeak about this, so please look into it if you can, but there will be online megacities as well. So if you see cool prize support, like this person coming out of, I'm not going to say it anymore, you can get involved in organized play. There will be online megacities for different time zones, just like there's online districts for every time zones. And there seems like there'll be prize support if you pay your ticket price, it'll be sent out, which is great. So there are going to be stuff, even if you find yourself in a situation where you can't travel to any of these events because they don't make sense. They're too far, stuff like that. It's messed up. The whole situation is people being more conscious of their consumption patterns is a good thing. Yeah. No, I think it's good. Overall, it's fine. I feel like a lot of these like terrible, horrible things are making people actually, in some ways, like these sort of ways, being like, wait a second, we should invest in ourselves. Like we can't count on this shit to not fall apart. Okay, sick. Generally pretty hyped. Thanks for NSG for taking our application. We're gonna run a cool event. It'll be a whole weekend. That's exciting. I want the map for sure. Yeah. That's gonna be definitely an angle to try and get one if you can't make it out to organized play, which is cool. Or they doubled down this year on organized play, both in person and online, which is great. Okay, you want to build a Reina deck that does Reina stuff? Hold the phone. NSG is not hosting online megacities. There were provisions for hosted online community-run megacities, but I don't know whether we awarded any. Fuck. I knew I might need a correction there. Asterisk. Do we have to run one now? Like, do you need the community to run one, Crowr? Are you saying that if we don't run one, there's not going to be one? We'll talk about this maybe offline if you want, but like, I feel like there should be one. I feel like we can get a couple people together to organize one. I don't know about mailing out prize support. I don't have that functionality. Sag, but luckily I'm by Denver and Dallas at separate times this year. Oh, nice. That might line up. I'd run an online megacity. Yeah, there you go. How can we get these runnings? Yeah, wait a second, Croy. You're just threatening us to having a good time. We can have a good time. Let's build a Reina deck. Just woke up. Man of the Moon just woke up in a cold sweat because of mailing stuff. I think I need to check out Man of the Moon's website, mind you, the Netrunner Cards website. I've been playing Steve. It's been a lot of fun. I have some recordings to go at in the near future. That's great. Let's try and build a runner deck that does Reina stuff, but it's actually like a Reina deck organically and see how bad that can be. Cool. Let's just hide this button for now because otherwise, Reina can live down there. That's fine. Yeah, it'll just be a little reminder that that button matters. Not super big, but it's still there. All right, what does Reina do? Reina says the first piece of ice the corp reses each turn costs a credit more. So it's in our best interest to force those ice reses and also derez ice to some extent. This means you can do mean things like Saucy. You can do things like En Passant. I don't think this is going to be good, but we want to build a functional Reina deck that leans into Reina's shtick. For what it's worth, ice destruction and crew technically works with Reina, right? Because if you destroy their ice, they have less ice, then they have to res more ice. And so that does generally work with Reina, but there's a couple steps in there. Step 1, 3 doofs. Z-Vec, how's it going? I don't know if we can afford that. Time for network exchange. This is the Shaper one that's like 2 influence for some reason. It's not unique. The issue is like paying a click and 2 credits to do this could be mean. And then you play that op matchup we did round 1 where it wouldn't fire. So who knows? Google En Passant. En Passant is another really big one, right? Because if they don't res ice, you destroy that ice and then they don't have ice, which is quite nice. And then you can make tread lightly En Passant plays, and I think that's pretty cool. Now, Reina has issues. Like, Reina doesn't have card draw. And I think every single Anarch identity, besides like the bad ones, don't have card draw written on them. And that's not good. So you need to kind of overcompensate. And luckily, the like good stuff Anarch package gets you there pretty easily. Step 2 with 3 professional contacts. You Gatchip on it? Oh boy. Play Flashbang. Maybe E-Shutdown. I like E-Shutdown a lot. Like, I want to play 3 emergency shutdowns. I want to play DJ Fenders for Steve, and I want to be obnoxious. I want to be getting into HQ as much as I can. I don't know if we play Sneak Door Beta. We honestly could. Just because derezzing ice and forcing the reses back again and En Passanting could be a thing. I do think we need to close the game out, and so I like having control over the narrative of the game. So maybe we just like pressure R&D with Stargate and say, I'm going to Stargate every piece of ice. Now you might think immediately, if there's no ice, how does Reina matter? And your answer is, yep. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Rubicon Switch is the thing. That's for sure. I don't think you'd play this in Reina. I don't think the extra credit matters as much as low skating 2 credits, which is just more important for doing the Rubicon Switch thing. Other things we can do is if we play viruses, and we probably do play some amount of viruses, you could try playing the Sleepy Snake, but the Sleepy Snake is kind of slow and is also 3 influence, which is not great. The answer is great call from the haters. Sounds like 1x Panweave time. Panweave is like 4 influence. What the heck? Like, I get it. It's a criminal, really criminal coded effect, but 4 influence, there's no way. Maybe some sabotage to reduce their ice quality, make them desperate to res what they have. Yeah, maybe. It's hard. So let's like try and build an Anarch shell. The one thing that we definitely want to play is Xanadu, because Xanadu says every ice costs +1, which on its own is better than Reina, but you have to install this brick. So I think we play 2 Xanadu, and then because Xanadu sucks to install, we'll play 3 copies of the price. And then because we're playing the price, this is unfortunately how an Anarch deck builds itself. You play 3 steel skins, and then you play 3 strike funds, and then we probably play some Musings because we don't have functional card draw, and then we're kind of getting somewhere. We'll play labor rights because E shut down forever is kind of cursed. Maybe we'll play 3, maybe we'll play 2. Console. Honestly, I don't know what concept we're going to play. I think there's a big chance that we have to really compensate for our downsides and just play 2 Anacoms and call it a day. Cat's Cradle is cool. I like Cat's Cradle. It's like influence though, and like things are bad already. But Cat's Cradle is like kind of fun. I like Amaku a bit too. I want to play 3x Cat's Cradle. That's 6 influence and it's not like that good. It's cute. Perennial probably draws enough. It probably does draw enough. What else can we do? Like, we want to play En Passant. I want to play events. Like, I want to play En Passant. I want to play Shutdown. I want to play Forged. I don't know if we want to play Forged. Hijacked Router? Yeah, F it. Why not? If they don't have money, we win. Let's play a Hijacked Router. Not you. So we can do that. We can play... What else makes them... Like, Mining Accident kind of makes sense. It's probably not that bad. How much influence is Bachlan Botchkin? Like 3. Wouldn't Hermes be good? Hermes is okay. Hermes is fine, but also like we need card draw. And I think it's hard to go wrong with Anacom, especially because we're playing things like E Shutdown. Botchkin, I believe, is 3. Did you seriously go to deal with the deck size? We need Anacom? To deal with the card draw? Yeah, we need Anacom. We don't draw enough. And then with Lagu, yeah, Lagu is really good with Anacom. So we'll play 3 Lagus and that'll probably be our card draw package. Saucy's strange. Because we don't have enough Derez for this to be good. And then if we put it on a piece of ice, they like probably just won't res it. And then like Reina, like if you put this on an ice, they don't res it. For what it's worth, I really struggle with Saucy. I think Window of Opportunity is something we probably should play more than I don't know. Cubon, it's like spending a click for a Cubon is really rough. Spending a click to install a Cubon and then running is awful. It feels so bad. We should play raindrops though, because we do have the face check. We're already at 38 cards. What are we doing? Like, I want to play window, kind of. Leave No Trace. Leave No Trace is really cool. It's probably also 3 influence. The issue with Leave No Trace is like you have to have a certain play pattern for this to be good. I'm pretty sure that we're gonna have a better time playing Tread Lightly. Window with Hermes is fun. Yeah, it is. Window feels like a bit of a nombo. Well, it just basically is like an inside job, right? Because if they don't res, then they res for free. So they don't res. Doesn't sound great. Alarm clocks is too much influence. We probably don't need it. No more DJ. We probably do play DJ. What's a breaker suite that's functional though? Like we need a breaker suite still. Like, are we playing crew Devil Charm? Like we might. But like, welcome to 45 cards. No win condition, nothing. So what's a breaker suite that's easy to play? The Megacities playmat card is going to have Reina synergy, mark my words. Oh man. Turtles and Leeches. It's probably Turtles and Leeches. Like, okay, we gotta make some cuts. I just searched Turtle. That's fine. Amakua, Leech. 52 cards, Reina Roja. We don't have enough money in the deck. Is this tagless tag me? Yeah, it feels like it. Does Audrey charge from Ice Destruction? No, Audrey is a card that you've accessed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, trash a card you were accessing. Solidarity Badge, I think it doesn't care. Yeah, this is a trash a corp card. Mayfly is really, really expensive, and we don't have that much money. The thing is, like, Mayfly is only really good if your single access matters a lot, and I don't see a way where our single access matters that much in this. NRDB has the better search term matching Turtle is valid. There's some like weird ones that you want to work that don't, right? Like the ways that people talk about things. Like Turtle should show up Amakua. DLR should show up Data Leak Reversal. SMC should show up self-modifying code. Maybe that's a like NRDB 2.0 thing, but I would be very, very pleased if you could do that sort of like, you know, text to speech. Yeah, Solidarity and Consume. Yeah, Consume doesn't care. This looks bad. This looks bad. 52 cards. So we have to cut like, I don't know, 7 of these. So what are we cutting? We don't have enough money. And this is where you end up doing this thing where like you cut Xanadu because it's the Xanadu card in the deck. You cut the hijack router because it's the hijack card. Like it, you know what I mean? Like you just end up cutting stuff. Like we'll probably cut mining accident. We probably need to choose between the cue cards like hijack, en passant, and mining accident. Yes, I agree. The bottom GLC works with that, I think. Oh, cool. So this is how Sobek ended up on 49 cards. Like I get it. I've been there. So this is our opening hand. Say that we just YOLO priced. We have to choose one of the hardest choice. Okay, we draw 2 cards, so already gaming. Then we either choose Stargate or Anacom. Yo, Remy, just play 50 cards so you don't have to cut your deck. It's just problems you're playing Reina, man. You could cut other cards just that give up moshing or raindrops is going to make the deck more inconsistent. Yeah, I don't want to give up moshing or raindrops because we just need card draw as fast as possible. We need to hit hard. All right, so this is our opening hand. Yeah, we probably cut the hijack routers, let's be honest. The price is amazing for Anacom. It's a bit overrated because you're like, I trashed an event, so Anacom triggers, but you just played an event, so it's going to trigger. It's time to play Alice Merchant. Honestly, yes. I think Alice Merchant has so much more impact over a game than Reina Roja. Like, the thing is, like, we need to play pinhole threading. This is the same idea. So, like, if a Regolith mining license goes off, we lose the game. Like, if they get 12 credits from a Regolith, our AD ability does not matter. And we unfortunately cannot deal quickly with a Regolith mining license. And Alice is, like, kind of fun. But you see this number here? We can put Alice's face in there. It's just going to take me a minute. Like, I have to open up After Effects because I don't know how to Photoshop works. All right, Sure Gamble, price, great, fantastic. We would install the crew, I think. Have a fun Divide and Conquer cup deck. See all the cards. I don't know what's with people who like Divide and Conquer in Alice. It's like that is the one deck that you're gonna ice up archives. That seems like the worst deck to do it in. Eternal question, what if we just played without any changes in Hosh? Oh, Tron. I don't even think it's a question. It's the eternal statement. It's the eternal knowledge that you're doing a little goof, but you're doing a little fun goof. Then we do Sure Gamble, we rain drops, we draw 2 cards because they res. Okay. The en passants are not good. Oh, Swift is cool though. We have 2 shutdowns. Okay, the shutdowns are probably not it. How can we do more damage with shutdown influence? How do we make Reina more annoying? How do we say this matters? Yeah, I think we don't want 3 en passants, but then we probably play no en passants. Like Hernando Cortez doesn't exist. Just to show you this card, this was maybe better than Reina. If the corp has at least 10 credits, and we used to be in a meta that had this card in it at the same time, IPO, which was a neutral 8-coster terminal that goes 5, so puts you at 13. So corps played this. So it was not uncommon for corps to be on 13 credits somewhat consistently because they would probably try and get hedge fund IPO on turn 2. Okay? And with that in mind, Hernando says, if the corp has at least 10 credits as additional cost to res a piece of ice, the corp must spend credits equal to the number of subroutines on that ice. So heaven forbid that you res an Anansi for 11 credits. And even then, Hernando did not see consistent play. He was 1 influence. You run HQ, then shut down after the raindrops. Like, let's just try it. How bad could it be? I feel like we don't have enough money. Like, I do think we want the dirty laundry because we want to be running for fun. We're very bad into Mavirus, but who isn't? Cut an en passant, but then we're not gaming. I don't know if Doof is that good. I feel like Doof is not that good. How bad could it be is totally the vibe I want going into new builds. Yeah, sometimes we're like pleasantly surprised. Yeah, let's just call it that. Let's just like self-fulfilling prophecy this thing. We're gonna play against NEH with 3 ice. Oh man, I wish we had our routers. Maybe we have to play router just in case we hit the asset matchup. We don't like absolutely tilt out our minds. Red Queen. The deck list name can't be wrong. Runner. Feels like this is a little game of captcha they put in front of every game to make sure you're not a robot. It takes me like 10 seconds to figure out what side I'm playing. All right. I was playing, what's his name? Steve Cambridge, and just having a really good time. I'm kind of convinced that there might be a Steve Cambridge deck that just runs as many copies of Fizerum as you can, because it's just kind of annoying when it keeps coming back. Like, they clearly have a good ice that you can Fizerum. And also part of it is I just keep getting upset about Messna Chesto. This hand's fine. Hey, hey. Providivos can be anything. Not usually financially list. Thanks, you too. Hey, that's my line. They mulligan. So we don't have econ in this hand. Yeah, speaking of Messna Chesto, at least it cost them 6 credits for us to lose 6 credits. There's parts of this hand that are really good besides the money part. And I do think that's going to be a thing with our deck, is that we just don't have enough money in general. So like any of these cards that we install, we're in the doghouse. What's the elevation countdown timer? You think I should have like a speedrun timer for 62 days? I just leave my computer on? Could have been 7 credits for 6 if we couldn't fit the cat's cradle. We're not going to wrap around either. I'm going to mulligan. This hand is really, really good, but like financially, like what do we possibly do here? It got worse. It did get worse. It got much worse. I don't think we have enough econ cards per card. I think our card per card is bad. Oh, they're going to be a trap prov or a glacier prov. If they're playing this, they're just saying like, touching is bad. It's a checkist. Xanadu and start running? You think they got ice in here or no? What are your over-under on how much ice is in the deck? I don't care if it is an Urtica. It's a Rashida, okay. So then this thing clearly is a trap, which we have steel skins, so whatever. It's an NGO front. Sick. So we ran in the wrong order. We hit the bad side of the 50-50. So we just play a Lagu and click for a credit. 8 ice, okay. I think 8 ice would be okay if our ability fires 8 times. That would be better than most other games. But now they're on 11, so our ability doesn't matter anymore. When they were on 4, that's a good trade. All right, they know we're running. Hit a strike fund. Our options are all of our economy cards or leech. I'll go for the leech. Oof. So Urtica is 3 damage. Yeah, that seems acceptable. DBS? I mean, we have to trash that. We don't win with DBS. There's a Vig. Ugh. Do we want to track Reina versus Hernandez value? Oh, yeah, that's really good. That's a really good tracker. How much Hernando would have done? On 9 credits, not a lot right now, but imagine like a Eula gets res for 12 credits. And you notice this brick, right? Like, I don't know how you can install this thing in modern Netrunner. Like, every career fair in the world still doesn't, like, you can't spend a click and 3 credits to do this card. I'm like really bad as a player to play the cards that don't do things now, but do things in the future. Like, you probably know that. Oh, that's really good for us. Oh, that was really good for us. All right, well, there's agendas somewhere. I don't care to float a tag. I don't want to run once. I'm going to run no times. So then they have to like not score out of 4-2. Install DZMZ challenge. Yeah, Lucille, you know how it is. Like, I'm a tempo deck. I want to touch things. I don't want to pay 3 credits for a card. They have no ice. I swear they have no ice. I don't know if they did this intentionally. That was the Xanadu window. Yeah, for what ice, PMK? Point me at the ice. Their subliminal messaging is better than our ID ability. I learned your problem with feature cards because of DZMZ. Like, you gained my problem, or you've learned to not do it. Andre's real value now, type head. I am. I play criminal. I want to touch cards now. I'll play a turbine, but turbine is like, it's almost immediately good. They've drawn through so many cards. They have to have agendas in hand. What if we don't run? Like, they start advancing cards on the table? Hold on. We're cooking. I learned that you don't. Thought me to just play them early. If I have it early, I will, but like, Well, well. If it isn't ice. Love ice. Ice is really good. I knew there was ice somewhere. I was open for that. I got a Reina tracker and everything. Have you tried any of the London Top Get Crim decks? You'd love them. I'm a big fan of Solomon's lists. I don't know if I've seen that much else though. This daily business show is gonna lose us the game. What if we steal skin? What can we possibly get here? Like botches probably makes sense in the deck because it invalidates ice in a way that's pleasing for us. Imagine they don't res. Let's mess the Chesto for 6 credits. Yes! Okay, hold on. It's misery for everyone. We could have installed Xanadu. So now if they score out, it's bad for them. We don't want to make a successful run because financially it's a struggle to score this out. I'm hoping it's not a crypto crash. How do we play around a crypto crash? Do we install a Xanadu? EV Paragon Crim list is really fun. Second to Swiss, I'm not saying that because they're from my meta. It seems like you want us to know that they're from your meta though. So Lucille, I feel like that was kind of self-defeating. All right, 1, 2. I'm keeping the Xanadu out of principle. Oh, wait, this is really good. I'm ready to be annoying. Crew and Xan and moshing next turn. I don't think I'm ever going to install the Xanadu. It's just going to be a little artifact we have. Think you would gain from 2 central server runs, then trashing that ice? Sorry, David? Why are we moshing because of Poplo Crypto Crash? I was hoping to draw something and install it. I think if Maparelli scores out, scores out a Crypto Crash, we're okay. Because he's also on no money. Like we have another moshing luckily, but like now we can just run HQ and get back like 2 hedge funds or whatever. Or like 2 strike funds. Oh, we didn't put companions in the deck. That's why we feel bad. We need companions. Rip Stargate, win game. It's not that easy. There might be a spin doctor on the table. Here it's like run HQ, get 3,000 value from Steve, E-Shet on the message chest, or run server 6, win. And there's like fireworks halfway between click 2 and 3. Yeah, we need little friends. We just need little guys. Like we're little guysless. Not good for us. Imagine we were Hoshiko. The whole stream. Oh, we're never gonna get over the fact that Hoshiko is an option. Look, I don't want to be that guy. Like I think it's cool to experiment. It's just like, and I want to be very clear. I wish all the best for Sobek. I think Sobek is cool. That was a good draw, I guess. We should have a little guy counter. Oh man. Get to put any of the imps in a little circle. What's going on out here? We're just touching cards. I wish we had a dirty laundry. 2 cards in the heap. I want a way to run. We don't have a way to run. Okay, that sucks. Huh. Would you look at that? Is the Reina counter there for her own ability? Yeah, only her own ability. I didn't think about having a Xanadu meter. Fuck. Got him. Nice. And now we can't sure gamble a fate fit for us. We didn't even consider this line. I was just so sure that was the play. But this has been a 10 credit, a 12 credit message Espo if you think about it. I wish we got the other card, not the sure gamble. I wish we didn't get the sure gamble here. Okay. I mean, we moshed the Xanadu, surely. RVH? Oh, Reina versus Hosh? How many times have you touched cards? We don't price here, right? If we price, we can hit a Xanadu. Otherwise, we're throwing out a lot of cards. Thinking we can throw out the Lagu, no problem. The moshing is worth keeping. Hernando, oh my god, yeah, Hernando, this would have been 7 credits. Hernando would have been equal. It's me, how's it going? Yeah, huge. Hernando's tied. We'd have to install the guy, though. I'll do it. Stargate or Devil Charm? Oh, we'll never financially recover from that. Like, maybe we need Fermenter. Maybe we just need a way to, like, coast. Like, minimum viable product. We have 0 labor rights? There's no way. I think we have 2. I refuse to believe we have 0. No, we have 1. We have 1 more somewhere. But we're winning on points. And we have a Stargate. Hey, Bob. How did I notice inside Job is sitting on a toilet? It is the most insides of Jobs. BAU? Oh, this is like a Vlad Grid combo deck. Fast Advance. So it's a Mani Sanai. Oh, I hate this. This sucks. Okay, I guess we don't play the game anymore. How did this advancement get here? Okay. Our board state is disposable now. Because we just don't have economy, so we're going to get prisoned. If you don't have economy, you get prisoned. It is one of the rules of engagement against NB and assets of this sort. We steal an agenda, we lose Steven and DJ. Logjam, okay. That's expensive. The Messney was advanced, not this card. That intrigues me. Big Mosh, though. Yeah, I'm not gonna play it. You're right. I'm gonna mosh it. Sorry, Santa, dude. There's money on the table. Like, there's a time and a place. Nice. This is our little secret, right? Like, we don't have to do this now. It's a VIG. Fantastic. All right, we're in a good spot, honestly. We don't know what server 9 is, but we can just do Stargate send it. They have no money. They can fast advance for 2 credits at some point. That won't matter. You notice I'm not going to trash this Amani Sanai, and that is out of principle. Lagu, yeah. We are fine. 2 credits. Okay, so they can score this turn. We could raindrop, so we don't want to commit the Stargate before it's too late. So we can just raindrop server 10, I think. If the VIG gets advanced, we have to deal with the VIG. It's more important than the money. If anything gets bounced here, we're not too upset about it. We should run HQ. It's a Hearts and Minds. Okay. Can't let that happen. So we should run HQ because it's just free value. The daily business show means that they shouldn't have points in hand unless they were Sheeta. So this has been better than our idea ability, someone else's idea ability. They have a logjam. That's all we know he has. Okay, we've learned nothing. This is not that. This is okay. The serial killers thing is really funny, but this is not that deck. I think we have to deal with the VIG. The VIG is +1 credit this turn. Yeah, we'll deal with it. Money is important. Because +1 credits means that he can actually hedge fund here. Important to note that not trashing based on principle is very different to principled play. Yeah, sort of. We're going to en passant it, my friends. We're going to run HQ. We're going to grab 2 en passants. We have done it. We have beat Mesnachesvo so bad. We have destroyed Mesnachesvo. You realize this is what's going to happen. I swear, like, Steve Cambridge is such a fun ability when he can play control Netrunner. Toolbox. Rashida and Opposant. Opposant, mind you, sees no play. It says after you pass an ice if you made a successful run. Yeah, I kind of miss Steve. I wish it was different cards, but like Steve is really fun. I don't like DJ Steve, but normal Steve is great. Triple credit. This is where you doof. So cool you get to play Steve at the start of the game with DJ Reina and play. Yeah. We would have DJ Reina for sure. So this is a. Do we know what this is? Do I know what server 9 is? Nah. Nah, got advanced last turn. I don't care what happens to our board state. Let's run HQ first and see what happens. Yeah, we did it. We did it. We did it. We're running out of all our good events. All we're left with is en passants now. Raindrops, I guess. Like, imagine we were any other ID ability. So this could be 4 damage. I don't think I care. It's a Vlad grid. We care about that one, unfortunately. I think we just do Stargate, send Stargate. They could fast advance a remaster at any point. Oh, fuck, no, they can't. Not on our watch. Oh, no. Oh, no. Weird. What do you do here? I think we just get rid of the Spin Doctor and say, enjoy every single remastered edition you've ever seen. You are Epiphany now. That's genuinely very funny. I am Epiphany. I am the one who knocks. You see my future and it sucks bad. That's the Epiphany issue. Sometimes you look at the future and it's awful. You wish you couldn't. The problem is like one of these are going to be bottom, so we know one's in hand. They need to just like score out a 3-2 from hand and bounce the Stargate. Like that's their play. But like they have to ice HQ, and if it's a logjam, that's 7 credits. We're cooked. Could be a mess to Chesvo. How do we make this ice miserable? Like imagine it's a logjam and somehow like we install Xanadu and then we get in because they can't res. Okay, then 9 cards they can res. Yeah, let's just get a better hand. Let's see in the fantasy novel we see the future, but their eyes start bleeding. Amani Sanai, Vasilisa, and Vladisibirsk. All right, well, if Reina never fires, that's good for everyone, right? So we could do Leech run HQ. Oh, sorry, Amakua run HQ. That's not bad. Then they have to res. The issue is that we don't have a click left. Like we should have done a click 1 so we can get E shut down. Because if this is a mess to Chesso, oh, they advanced it, so it has to be a mess to Chesso. Crew HQ? Oh, fuck yeah, why not? Yeah, I forgot that was our deck. Yeah, 100%. I was going to go for an E shutdown play, but this is better, and they don't have anything to advance. Yeah, this is way better. Could be logjam. That's fine. We'll crew logjam the same. It'd be better for us if it was a logjam. No further action. Okay, 1 and 4 remastered. I think we just get 2 strike funds. We have a labor rights in the last of our deck, so we probably actually can't be hitting our Lagu anymore. En passant, we don't have a click left. Yeah, we could have done that sooner and then threatened en passant. So we'll do that next turn for sure. I didn't see the line there. I should have done that instead of like Stargating. The Stargate was not bad. The cool thing is like with Stargate and DBS, we see every card they draw. Because they have to bottom 1. So every Stargate's 3 fresh cards. I'll do it 1 and 8. Fine, not punished. Lost the Xanadu. So one of these could be a Hollow Man. One of them actually probably is an agenda. So first click, we run HQ. Then we either en passant. So they have to res here. Yeah, we'll run HQ. And we'll see what they advance. No further action? Oh, no. So we're going to bounce. Something's probably going to get bounced. Like they should feed us the remastered. It's so funny, though. Messney. So that's a logjam. Bye. You'd always trash Amani. They might have another one, though. Yeah, it's the right thing to do. Oofa doofa, that's fine. So they can do a combo with Business as Usual or the Remastered Edition. But it's still pretty expensive. It costs them like 6 credits. And let's Stoke. Stoke gets a bit further. They may be on Restore, I don't know. We don't know what they drew into. We know one of the agendas is on the bottom of the deck. The Remastered. They have a Remastered in hand. This is probably it. I don't care. Yeah, fine. No labor rates. I think they're just going to stop resing ice. We got 2 credits on Reina. All right, that's fine. So I don't think we lose this turn. So that's the one we knew in hand. So all we want to do here is Stargate and run HQ. Strike Fund, run HQ. What do we get from HQ? We can do... We just don't have enough money in the deck. He says to no one's surprise. Like, there's literally no money in the heap anymore. We do, like, Raindrops Gamble, I guess. Let's start with the Stargate. Vig, Federal Fundraising Beal. Okay. So there's 2 points in Archives. It could be Spin Doctor and Shiver 12, so we can run Archives first. Yeah. You know what's Infinite Econ Smartware? Could be. So they threw out, we trashed a Logjam, and they threw out a Mess Chesso. So we have a Beal. So now we run HQ and play a card. What do we know in their hand? Oh, they advance the Vlad Grid, so they can fast advance. Can they fast advance a 5/3 from hand? Oh yeah, you're right. Raindrops and Archives would be better. I think we might have to deal with this though. I don't think we can do it this turn. The thing is, like, they don't give us a Raindrops here. It's either Raindrops Gamble. They might just give us the Gamble because we're bankrupt. Hey, Lucasani, how's it going? How long have these icons been next to the game log? For a while, but not on JNet exactly. I use a plugin called Cyberfeeder, and Cyberfeeder gives you a lot of like accessibility tools. It's only on Firefox. If you search the word Cyberfeeder, it'll come up to show you how it looks like. It gives you these like options for like animations, arrows, these icons. It remembers the cards I've accessed if my memory sucks, which it does. So it's really nice. I can't recommend it enough. Shout out to Rahi who just built it. World's best moshing. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It draws the rest of our deck, which we're okay with. So I'm thinking, can we lose next turn? If you install a 5/3, advanced Vlad Grid, no, I don't think we can. Well, what option on Cyberfeeder enables the icon option? Because I have it, but I can't find it. Oh, I don't know. I think it's a default thing. I'll check in a second. So the top of the deck is 2 that don't matter. So we could check server 12. It might be an agenda on the table. I don't know. The Holloman, okay. So we can lose eventually. We have to deal with the Vlad Grid. So the icon, let's see what the icons are. Corp server label, probably. It's probably one of these. That's my guess. BAU Remastered, I think, gets there. 5/3, yeah, might. So this is probably one of the 2 we saw on the top of the deck, which is probably a Federal. So we'll draw. If it's a labor rights, whatever. The game's gonna be over before the labor rights matters. No, actually, no, the labor rights would have been pretty good. So if we Stargate a 5/3, our turn, this turn, we have to trash. So Holloman, you need 6 credits to matter. So unfortunately, we have to do a lot of work this turn. Thinking we have to plan the money out. Yeah, I recommend enough. Try one of those buttons. I've had it on for a while, so I can't tell you what button I've hit. I felt like it was one of the default ones. I don't think I've turned that button on. So we have to deal with the Vlad Grid. We have to deal with the Holloman. The Federal is kind of whatever. So this is 6 credits. So we can just do Strike Fund. Running HQ is not super important. The Stargate's more important. Running HQ is good because it gives us a Strike Fund back. Because we can do 2 Strike Fund. Ooh, we can't do 2 Strike Fund. We can do Moshing. Moshing is fine. 2 Moshing is fine. And then we can, then if we did the Moshing, we shouldn't have played the Strike Fund. So if we run HQ, get 2 Moshing, we can Mosh the Strike Fund, the Onicom, and the Leech. It's probably fine. So we can start with the Stargate because we could just win. This could be a Spin Doctor, but we think it's a Federal Fundraising because he didn't draw, right? No, he drew. So this is an unknown card. So this could be a Spin Doctor. We should check it first then. So I'll run HQ. Oh, no, wait. We really have to plan the turn out. Sorry. Because what if it is a Spin Doctor? We've seen 1 so far and we've trashed it. So what do we lose to? Holloman on 6 credits is threatening because it's Holloman Vlad Grid Remastered. So we have to deal with the Holloman. If this is a Spin Doctor, it gives you more reach. So I think we just don't deal with the Spin Doctor. If it's a Spin Doctor, so what? It messes up our Stargate, but we don't need to Stargate this turn. I think we need to trash the Vlad Grid and we need to trash the Holloman. So that's 6 credits. So we run HQ, we Moshing, we run, and we just say that this is not an agenda. This could be an agenda, but we've been checking everything. When does the no undo click challenge happen? Probably not for a while. Like the no undo click challenge just makes me play slower and more methodical and then makes me interact with chat less. Like that's a problem. It just makes me like slow the heck down, which I don't think makes better content always. I think normalizing undo click in casual play is just like a legitimate thing to do. Yeah, we'll run HQ for the moshing. It's not great access. We'll see if one of these cards gets advanced. I'm assuming it's the Vlad grid though. No surprise. So we could lose if server 13 is an agenda. Strike Fund, Anacom, Bleach. Oh, range ups is good. All right. We'll find out if 13's Resin's Offender of fundraising. Yeah, that makes sense. So there's one unknown card in hand. We missed it. But now it's looking through a lot of unknown cards. More than once I've accidentally clicked something. Yeah, online things, it sucks. You can accidentally click. And I've watched big tournaments where people clearly make an undo click. Like as soon as a run, someone hits end the run, they hit draw. And it's because they're hovering over one of these buttons and they hit like no action. And like it's obvious that it's a mistake, but even online tournaments, sometimes it's not possible to fix it. I don't know how they get the last 7 points. I think something has to happen with Stoke the Embers. But we know their board state. We don't know much of their hand at this point. We know Logjam. They're on 6 credits though. Chess timers make good, great content. We'll be coming back to that. I now have the camera overhead, and I still think it sees the chess timer clock because it's slanted. But I'm worried because the angled camera was better at reading the chess clock for sure. Yeah, why not? Okay, one of these has to be a spin doctor. If we run HQ, what can we possibly get here? Did they draw off of... It's so hard to track on JNet. Did they draw Federal? They did. So they drew a lot of cards here. So if we run HQ, we can get prices. We can get 2 labor rights. That's actually what we do for sure. And then we labor rights back in raindrops, labor rights. We could flatline to like Urtica remastered. The cool thing is if we draw the labor rights, we just play it and it gives us like 4 credits. Num num. Okay. They advanced server 14. All right. So we'll do labor rights, raindrops, I think. No, sorry, not raindrops then. Sorry, so I was thinking strike fund, but we removed them from game actually. Wait, this labor rights is not that good. Wait a second, it's not that good. So I think we just do late raindrops, and we have no more labor rights. Wait, I totally messed up how this math works. That's really funny. Strike fund, I guess. So this means that we can still trash. We have enough money to trash Vlad grid. There we have to. With this, we have to trash Holloman. It gives us no clicks left to do anything fun. It's a spin doctor. Okay, that's good. This Fire's Daily Business Show. We still might be cooked, but we're cooked because financially we're cooked. I regularly goof things so badly that I ask for a full undo turn. I still have to manually adjust things after that. Just like really bad permanent damage. Bacterial programming, I always thought I'd ask you to rearrange R&D first, and I realized it's like thrash through your dentist. Yeah, it's trash first, then R&D. No, then HQ, then R&D. I have like done it wrong, tried to fix it and done it wrong again. Like 3 times in a row. And I feel like also having a visual interface would be easier than like a text interface for me. And the way my memory, like I don't remember the titles of the names. If I could see the arts in order, I'd understand what I'm doing better with Bacterial. All right, so now very importantly, R&D was shuffled. So the last remastered edition is no longer near the bottom, as much as I think we were getting to the pitch stack. And now it's Federal DBS. So he's drawing a lot of cards. So we probably just have to send it and hope that we find enough points off of Stargate. What was spin back? 2 Vlad grids. So there's still 1 spin doctor in archives, which is nice. That means the Stargate's slightly stronger. If we run HQ, I don't think we have any targets here. Luckily, if they install a card, we'll either draw a raindrops or a strike fund. Yeah, we'll take it. Oh, nice. That was the best order. 50-50 there. Reina has fired twice. Just twice. Did I just hear pitch stack? Yeah. Yeah, you pitch stack when you play DBS. Stargate and click for credits. I think we can start with the Stargate. There might be the second or the third Spin Doctor. The problem is that there's things on the table that if we don't interact, we lose to. So we can start with the Stargate and see what they like remastered, or sorry, what they prov. But I think they might have thrown an agenda here too. And they have a spin. We'll find out. That's bad. Hearts and Mind, Vlad Grid. They advanced nothing. Wait, what the heck does that mean? Advanced nothing. Maybe that's a bluff. Vlad Grid's the one we don't want them to have. So if we run HQ, what do we actually get? Raindrop Strike Fund, probably. So now we can run HQ for free. And then we run the 2 servers. We could have ran the server first, but if it's a Spin Doctor, like, we know what they're going to be drawing into, barring 1 card, potentially. Okay, so there's an agenda in hand. Otherwise, this res makes no sense. Now, we obviously knew that these were the cards that they were going to draw into, but there's 1/3 card that they drew into because we trashed the Vlad Grid. Yeah, no worries. All right, so they bottomed the wrong one. Been there. So now we just have to deal with server 16. We'll just get our 2 economy cards here. I don't know what else we could possibly do. The load bearing is DJ Steve. I know. Like, imagine we don't get the 1,700 free credits from just playing the same cards over and over again. Like, it is absurd. But they just don't have the money to get a single ice on HQ, it seems. It's an Amani Sanai. I think we have to deal with that. They didn't res it though when we touched HQ. But yeah, losing our Stargate kind of loses us the game. Oh, we could have raindrops that. I don't know why I didn't. That's fine. First words tuning in after D&D about to drive home. Now we just have to deal with server 16. Good luck. Yeah, that's right. It's been okay. It's been a weird game so far. Reina's fired twice. We have en passanted some ice. 2 ice. Can't feel bad about that. But this is where I'd much rather be like a criminal with econ denial and more money. Stargate has been good. So we have no idea what they're drawing because they Spin Doctored. We know they have a Hearts and Minds in their hand. Yeah, why not? Oh, we should deal with the Spin Doctor sooner than later so we can just score 3-2. Oh, that's sick. Okay. That's actually huge for us because it turns off threat. We have a tag. We're going to have to clear that, I think. No, actually, maybe not. We need to chase the Spin Doctor out, then we can Stargate, then we win. It's that easy. We probably clear the tag. If they clear the tag, they trust the DJ. The DJ has kind of like outstayed its welcome. Like, we don't have much to do with the DJ here. They did Vlad Grid and Holloman. Okay. So they have been bottoming any agenda they see. This DBS again is losing us the game. There's no way around it. I think we just start with the Stargate and see what happens. They might have thrown in an agenda considering they had an Amani on the table. But the problem is anytime they see an agenda, they bottom it. So luckily they just shuffled. So this is a good time to run this. Okay. Stoke is something. They can't really afford to res a message Chesvo. So I think we just trash the Stoke. The last Spin Doctor is in here. So unless they have like Stoke the Embers with Restore, I don't think wins the game. So I think we just remove the tag run HQ. We should do that in the opposite order. Because we could steal an agenda here and run archives and win. I didn't even check. I don't know what we're getting here. What would be the most annoying? I guess raindrops we'll never get. So I think it's like moshing. Raindrops strike fund, that's fine. Steve fires for the 13th time. All right, so they're drawing into a planogram or the Mess and Chesso, which they res for 6. And then we destroy it for 2. They have no more Spin Doctors, so they have to ice archives at the same time. This is a great Steve deck. I'm on a Steve kick. It's been really fun. They just don't have like 2 credits. They don't have enough credits to res an ice on HQ, which is just so funny. And they have just like 6 cost ice. Like we trashed a Vasilisa, which at this point we'd float tags, I think. All right, DBS. They drew a card with Federal Fundraising, so they have unknown cards in hand. Yeah, why not? That tag kills DJ, yeah, but DJ has nothing good to get at this point. We know there's no Spin Doctor on the table, so we can just do a Stargate, because like Spin Doctor count 2 removed from game 1 here. So if this hits it, it hits it. Otherwise, we just run 3 cards on the table. F. We didn't see any advanced traps. No, good game. Oh, it's on the table. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. Oh, now we just run archives. Excuse me, it is it. Hey, GG. Yeah, if we missed there, we just hit everything on the table because they have no Spin Doctors, so we don't have to respect that. What is Steve, huh? No gambles? Yeah, well, that was a weird game. Reina fired 2 times. I'm not upset. 2 times. But the en passants were good. Or sorry. Hedge funds. I was scared you'd planogram. Get some ice on HQ. Are you on 5-3s? I think if they're not on 5-3s, like they have to get either a big Beal, which we have 2 of the Beals, which makes it really hard. Well, now that we have 2 of the Beals. So it is looking like they're on 10 2-pointers, yeah. Which means that they really have to make a Beal do work for them. The fact that they traded in their win con to get his headline out of hand, like that's something you do when you're under pressure, and I get it, because we're going to be running HQ and R&D, but it's so much harder for them to win when they're on 6 points. Yeah. You can score a big Beal. He played ice? Yeah, he played ice. We trashed a couple ice. We forced 12 credits to Res message as well. It's the EU, non-EU compliant banana seller. It's a worst agenda suite. I almost played my big Beal deck. Oh, but you should big Beal in this one, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Beal or no Beal is like the big Pravdivos one where you just keep hitting it. 62 days until Steve is cruelly ripped from us. He's the sort of card that I think could get a Nihilist reprint, right? Like we just get that text on the card, make it say different cards, and have a good time. Hey, cheers. Thanks for the game. Weird matchup. I think we have to change things about this deck for sure. It's 11:25. We can do maybe one more. That was a long game though. All right, Reina has fired tonight 10 times in 3 games. Not good. What was in 20 and 21? Oh, I forgot to ask. Imagining a Hollowman. Oh wait, let's just do this on JNet. So what's bad with the deck? It's good when your opponent doesn't res ice and you can get Steve forever. That's for sure. What's not good? The Xanadu is just not good. Like we have to admit it. We cannot install this. How many Xanadu fires? 0. Our game would have been better with Tread Lightly than anything else. And the funny thing is like Tread Lightly is really good in this deck. Tread Lightly is really good in this deck because we're playing on Passant. Like we should just cut the Anacoms and play Tread Lightly, but then we're at 300 like card slots. The Grifter, the Grid. It's me, sorry. A Rashida, yeah, we knew that there was one Rashida coming off the top, I think, in that turn. So like what was good? We don't have enough money. I feel like with 26 events, we should be playing Mystics. That shouldn't be that surprising. Stargate felt good. Crew was like important. Oh, the names for DJ Steve. Sorry for Steve, I get it now. These cards were too cute. I don't know what to do. Yeah, artist class act name. I got it after a bit. Yeah, sorry, chat delay makes those sort of things kind of hard. I mean, maybe. Yeah, Xanadu is just a drag. Like, it's not doing anything. Like, honestly, Xanadu cost us more. Like, when we install Xanadu for a click and 3 credits, that functionally cost us like 5 credits. And none of the games that we played today would Xanadu have cost the corporation 5 credits. The Crew on Mini Fork is kind of cool. Yeah, it is kind of cool. It is neat. It's very neat, which is why I kind of like playing 3 of these. Let's try this. It's still 47, which was pleasantly surprising. And we'll go from there. I should really move the camera and make this automated when it's like pre-game, post-game, one day. Who's playing in Districts this weekend? Everyone excited? What's your decks? Steve's resource name should be the boyfriend. I think Steve was like a pretty good mid-range option, making chili. Oh shit, it's PE. We can't face check. Our gig is up. We have Anacom. Thanks, you too. Last time we played against Cassandra, was it playing P? I finally locked my decks for districts this weekend, but I'm not happy about them. Are you not going to change them? Like, even if you had an idea, like you were just emotionally locked in? Onikum's really good in the matchup. Amaku is probably what we get down just so that we don't beef it into, like, oh, we'll keep this hand. Crank is running a district in Madison this weekend. Yeah, Jason, I'm aware. That's pretty exciting. I think he's not playing. He's just organizing with, like, power to him. That's sometimes a hard call to make, but I think it makes a better event. Then do just nice money like Amina or Panweave. I find it important. Yeah, but like in that game, 2 ice was rezzed. In the game before, 3 ice was rezzed, right? Like it denies us more money. Yeah, this looks reasonable. I think we do nothing here. Like, with Mystic, we could maybe do Ashen. I don't know. I think we just draw. Oh, that's a really good draw. We don't have to play it this turn. We can just get Mystic so we can do Onikum next turn. We don't want to show Amakua. I think we just install Mystic and click for 2 credits. Is that wild? And then next turn we can do Onikum Gamble. No, we can't even do that. What am I thinking? So next turn we'll be on functionally 7 credits. No, yeah, we could do it. We can go slow. This ain't the play. We don't need to greed the sure gamble and like lose 2 clicks trying to get more value. We can just play the sure gamble. I didn't want to show that. I showed that because I need to play the Mystic now. That's awful because now it might ice up everything. Okay, that was the worst line there. Don't do that. I can say nothing as I'm sure there are spies in this chat. Just finish building my backup court for districts. The backup court? Like in case you panic or in case you need to give it to someone? All right. We're advancing cards. I played this just last round. It's a Provost. You just got to touch cards. All right, so this can do 3 damage. I'm in. I don't care. Show me and Charlotte Casador. We didn't have, oh, we had 2 credits. Okay. It's sometimes easy to mess up. If we run HQ here, it could be a snare. We're fine. We take a tag. I don't care. Let's check server 2. Casador's in blood in the water on the table. Love if this hits. Well, it'll hit Onikum. Oofa doofa. Okay. In case I panic. Oh. You're gonna put it in like a little glass box and like right before the tournament you just smash it on the ground if you're like not happy with the way things are going. That's surprising to see on the table. It's good to know that it's around. Some decks only play like one of them, like D's deck, but D's deck does not play Charlotte, so I'm not sure where we're right now. Okay. We just face check with this hand and not carry. Are you on Venti? Cold Lava does like some ops. I think it's Jover. I think it's a long game. I think you can make one mistake. The whole game can be over in this sort of matchup. Single advance, I don't care. We have only events in our hand. Don't look at this Lagu. We'll install this Lagu and hopefully we win before. We're in uncharted territory. So advancing Ubiquitous Vig is like really rough because it takes credits. And every time you advance a Ubiquitous Vig, it is an anti-credit technology. So the amount of like time that you advance a Ubiquitous Vig is like a really bad function of how much money you get off of it. No. Okay. I'll guess I'll play my Mystic to draw a card. Mitosis Vig is kind of cute. I guess so. But like I'd rather Mitosis a Charlotte at NGO front. Right? Like so this was in theory now 2 clicks and 2 credits to gain 1 credit. Like clicks are really expensive. Each click in advancement is like worth 2 to 3 credits functionally. Like this we don't have to worry about for a minute. All right, I'm still just going to touch things. We know one of these could be a Spin Doctor, which will push the Spin Doctor out, which is like 2-for. Piranha Condenser, we do have to just destroy those. Now we'll Strike Fund to draw a card, and now we can touch this maybe. If it's a Spin Doctor, it's a 2-for, it's a Hearts and Minds. Okay, we are, how are we just an Acid Slog today? What's going on? So we run last click, we take a snare, and if we steal, Mystic blows up. I don't think we need to do that. Let's just play a Lagu and pass. So far, Reina has fired 0 times. And do you know what would be good? Drawing a card every turn for free. That campaign, but it costs more clicks, really ain't it? Yeah, it's rough. It's really, really hard. It's not simply in Jiteki. With Mitosis, it's cool. Like, maybe you can put it on top of a Glacier deck and play a Lacosta, but like Charlotte does that a bit better. It's cool to play with the cards for what it's worth. Like, power to you. I just like as an educator generally on Netrunner. You just got to watch out. Advancing cards is very expensive. It's one of the most expensive actions in the whole dang game. All right, we run HQ, we take damage, we draw a card. Usually. We should check archives just in case. Oh, wow, there are lots of those. Ah, we didn't draw a card. Unlikely. Oofa doofa. Oh, we had no money. We lost a Stargate. Oh, that's so bad. We lost a Stargate. That is hella cursed. We just lost so many hit points. I should have clicked for credit there. I didn't even consider that we have a forecaster in the deck. Yeah, playing Price with that many events is bad. I wonder if we shouldn't play Price because we have like 26 events. We actually probably shouldn't have played Unevent because if Mystic trashes an event, you draw a card. Let's get into the Mystic Hole. We haven't played any. We played one Sure Gamble, so I think we can like get into the Mystic Hole for a bit. Ah, bummer. This would be really good though if we price for Steve Cambridge, right? I think you play Moshings and hold prices. Yeah, I agree, Jay. I regret the price. It wasn't even like it was going to solve the Mystic. Oh, that's really, really good for us. You ready for Hoshiko to, sorry, Reina to have text? Again, mystical. Okay. All right there. I don't care if we hit an Anansi. We have so many cards in hand. Like, what could this be? A Tattoo Bola? A Botu? Let me hit the button. Yay! Enigma, actually, pretty good. We got to break it, though. Enigma for 4. We're on 1 Reina Roja. Not even worth shutting down. That's the worst part about this whole thing. It's not even worth it. All right. We're getting beat up, but so is it. Lost the moshing. Just play safe. Nothing to do here. We'll get a leech, go HQ next turn. We fired our Onicom. We have 23 cards, and we only have to steal 1 2-pointer. I think we're okay. Sand matters only in games. Hey, Crossbrain, where lots of ice is being rezzed and the deck is low to the ground for that to be planned. I just don't think it's a realistic part of standard at the speed of the game. It just doesn't happen a lot. All right, they advanced that card, and luckily, we are a fool with too many cards in our hand. So for 2 credits, this is a bargain. We'll break the lose a click because our click is worth a credit. It's a Charlotte. Okay, fine. Trade. We'll still make a successful run and we hit the breach step because the ice is there. So we get an Amakua. It's always good to understand that interaction. So we'll run Server 8, run HQ. If your Creeper is Xanadu, turn 1 versus Ace, I might cry a bit. Like, that's something. All right, we'll run HQ. And we'll discard 700 cards. We actually could run R&D here. Oh, we just win. Ah, GG. Reina fired once. Reina fired once. Reina fired once. Oh, man. Ah, beans. You might be able to just draw up and discard cards safely with spin. Yeah, a lot of people don't do that. As a new player, sometimes it's easy to miss. I don't know if Cassandra's a new player, but like you can just draw up and just discard like 6 points with Spin Doctor and just say, I don't care. And then they just go back. Like Spin Doctor is really good because it draws 2 cards, so it's easy to be over hand size. And you just fix your hand. Yeah, it's a really good it's a really good play pattern. Just draw, get your 6 points and move on. Yeah, cool. As soon as we saw like blood in the waters on the table, like clearly something was weird. So yeah, not surprised that it didn't draw the way they wanted to. All right, Reina's 11 credits in 4 games. That's a pretty good credit per game count. Exactly. Yeah. And if I run archives and you leave a Sting and Fuji in there, I can end up taking a burst of like 6. So it's kind of hard for me to deal with, right? Like if you leave Sting and Fuji on some board states, like you end up taking like 6 damage if you run archives. Now, if they win the game, they win the game, but it also makes it harder to interact with it. I'll just run the Spin Doctor, but it's a play pattern that you can capitalize. People mess it up where you run archives as 3 Stings and they lose the game. Yeah, hey, it's a fun archetype. Keep at it. Thanks for the game. Hey, cheers. All right. Just about to run my first tournament of Netrunner. Any tips? Oh, for running a tournament. Very cool. Oh, my foot's asleep. My leg's asleep. Sorry. Good thing to do at the beginning of a tournament if you're running a tournament. Firstly, be clear to your players that whether it's a casual or a competitive tournament, because it's a casual tournament, people should understand that the rules enforcement and all that sort of good stuff only exists so people can have an equitable and fun time. And so like if you make a mistake, we'll try to figure out a way to fix it. That's really great. So the pre-talk at the beginning is really important to understand too. Like if you have any problems, call a judge, show how a judge is called. You raise your hand, say judge, and don't drop your hand. And then someone will come over and talk to you. And it's not about giving game losses or being punitive. It's about explaining why things happen and trying to fix board states. Things I like for tournaments, especially if they're bigger tournaments, is if you can get name tags, so people can put their names and pronouns on it. I think that makes it very easy to know people, to find people. That sort of stuff is great. If you have table numbers, that can help. But if it's a smaller tournament, it's not super necessary. You just be like, I'm looking for Linda, and you'll find Linda. That's mostly it. If it's a small tournament, you don't need deck lists, so that's nice. If you're running online on like Cobra tournaments or on ASOPs, you can do self-reporting. I think that works. New TO, hard. Yeah, huge, right? I don't know. Do you have any other tips, chat? I think those are my big tips. Bring water if you can. Like it's long, it's a lot of work, for sure. But I think that's the biggest thing is let people understand like what the stakes are, like that it's a fun event. Usually it's a casual tournament and that you're there to make sure that people have a good time. Most important part of running a tournament is having fun. Yeah, it's very easy to have fun. You're not playing sometimes if you're running a tournament, so it's always nice to talk to people between rounds. You can be like, always come up and ask a question. That's also another big one to some extent. Be like, if you have any questions, even if they're not rules related, come find me between games, whatever you need to, just so they can. Oh, as a tournament organizer, if you can make it obvious how much time is left in the round, that's a problem that we currently have with Silver Goblin is there's no like big clock on the wall. This matters more for like competitive events, but I would every like, 10 minutes yell out the time to be like 30 minutes left, 20 minutes left, 10 minutes left, and stuff like that. People appreciate that. So they're not always having to watch their clock, but you have to be dependable because if they're expecting a half warning and you forget to do the half warning, they're usually not pleased with it as much as they're pleased that you're doing it. I forgot about it because it goes away, which is probably for the best. Are there any archives traps but a virus? Oh yeah, there is just I think Nightmare Archives. I think that's it. And then just like PE being PE and then Thule being Thule. But I think it's just that. Yeah. Hopefully that's good advice. If you're not in the tournament organizers Discord, there is a TO Discord server that's spun up that has like non-NSG people in it and a lot of tournament organizers of all levels of like experience, and it's a nice place to be. My number one chip is drink lots of water. Jai, how did you feel about that? That like, the no breakfast or whatever, the don't eat food meta. And then like the world champ comes out with a like, take care of yourself and eat meals deck list for worlds. I never asked you about it, but it's like really funny. And obviously like you both have really successful ways of dealing with things. It's just like two very opposite spectrums. I like to bring a whole card and hand it out to people who ask. Yeah, very, very cool. Jai shelling for big water. That's it. It's 11:42. We played a Reina deck. That's probably fine. The deck list of the week also, mind you, is fine. But yeah, I feels bad that the theme of the thing was like Reina's bad, but like sometimes weird stuff is weird. Sometimes weird stuff is fun. Sometimes weird stuff is good. The problem is like Reina is just, it doesn't do enough. It's just not enough for an idea ability. Like Reina's ability on a 3-cost card that hits every ice is not worth installing. And it's just kind of where the game is right now, I think. I do a good amount of fighting game competing, and I think team food is better having done both in that. Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah. I also drink a shit ton of water. I read a thing that says that you make better decisions when you need to pee, and I'm constantly in piss meta. Like just anytime it's a competitive tournament, I just go to the bathroom like every 35 minutes. I get to the end of the round quickly. I am in the Discord. It's been extremely helpful, and it also has helped me link up my local store so they can order product and price support. Okay, sick, good. So then you know about that. That's really, really good. I will say that I've played a lot of Reina, and she's not great, but the impact is more than it seems. Just be counting the credits. Yeah, if you count the credits and be like, oh, they didn't res here or they can't res here, and that can matter, but like, shame. Is here any NSG rules about how much stores can charge or how much has to go back to players? Oh, for events? No, I don't think so. I've never heard anything about that. Different people do different things. Some stores don't want to take any ticket costs. They just want you to be there. Some stores will make sure that you can pay. Most stores I've talked to are like, at least are going to make you pay, give you enough money to pay for the cost of the kit that you brought at a minimum. So I don't know if there's any rules from NSG. I'd be surprised to hear if there were, but there could be. But generally, like what we do locally is that the person who runs events, when we run on Tuesday nights, they don't charge us cover. They're just happy we're there in the store, taking up space and like buying products every once in a while. But often like the money will go back to recoup the costs, and then any extra money will be spent on buying more kits. And it just becomes a self cycle as much as it is just like make it make sense. I can't focus on piss mana. Absolutely worse. Oh, I like it. I like it. It keeps me focused. It really does. I don't know why. Constantly in a state of piss. Oh man, sanctioned events must use the pricing structure for the kit, but that's it. Oh yeah, that is important. For competitive events, you have to use the pricing structure that was told to you by NSG. So you can't take the spin doctors from districts and raffle them. You're just not allowed to do that. So don't. Yeah, it can be found in the organized play policy. We were planning on doing $5 2 back to players and store credit 1 to a prize pool. For some reason, stores like Silver Goblin that I've asked to locally has not been into like the prize pool thing. I know I went to like NAMPC Boston and like the tickets were, it was a weekend long event, but the winner of the event, which was Whiteblade, won like a shit ton of store credit, like a lot of store credit. And I was super, super surprised. I think that's nice. Like if in some ways, I don't think it changed the tone of the event to be like, oh, we're playing for money, but I was surprised how much prize support there was by the store itself. But a lot of places I've talked to, at least like Silver Goblin, let's not say a lot of places, they specifically said that we don't care about the like store credit stuff. We're just happy you're here. What does your kit cost? And I think they've made money off of our last events. Cash prices are weird. Yeah, I don't want to pay for cash, but if someone told me like if I won the event, I could buy like a whole bunch of board games for free, I'm like, okay, that's not cash. That's kind of cool. Not just competitive sanctioned CTKs are casually sanctioned events. Oh shit. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Not know that. Mind you, the guy who runs things locally is part of the No Single Games organized play stuff, organized play team, so I don't have to know. Event starts every other Saturday at noon here in Fargo, ND. What would ND possibly be in America? North Delaware, New Dakota, California. It's North Dakota, New Dakota. Yeah, right, North Dakota. Very cool, very cool. Huge thank you to all these names here and more that help support the Metropole Grid. So we can do streams like this on Tuesdays and video content and all this sort of stuff, all the equipment behind me. I just cannot be more thankful. It really has changed my life and has made this thing a very exciting thing to be part of. Again, huge thanks. All these names here and the Daily Cast patrons help support the channel. If you want to support the channel financially, any amount of contribution is incredibly appreciated. You can find the link below. Also, if you just want to take a second, if you don't want to spend any money and just leave a like on the video, leave a comment, all that engagement stuff. I'm behind on YouTube comments. I'm going to sit down tomorrow morning and catch up on a bunch of them. It's been a minute. Apologies. I usually do them in waves. But I like answering comments and questions and just like leaving the little heart thing on everyone's comment because it's fun. It's mostly it. But yeah, praise on that one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Thank you, Jai. Good luck in your districts this weekend. Mind you, we have a district in Montreal in the next couple months. I'll try and get a date sooner than later. And of course, we got a mega city. So we'll hopefully see you somewhere between, I think it's April and July. I think May and July with the new set, which is super exciting. That'll be a whole weekend long. Otherwise, things are going on. This Sunday is the continuation of the Eternal Super League, which it's Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC. You can check that on YouTube, Eternal Super League. And we might be streaming maybe tomorrow, I think, in the afternoon. I set up like a little side sister channel. You can see it here. The link is called the Crash Space, which is what I'm going to be using to test the space behind me for like some solo stuff. So like no pressure, but if you hit that button, you get a notify and it's in the middle of your Friday workday, you might have a nice place to hang out for a minute while we test out some tech stuff. That's mostly it. I'm working on a video content. Hopefully it'll be up on Monday. I've been playing some Tag Me Steve and having a great time. We might have enough footage to get the edit together tomorrow. But otherwise, hopefully you have a good weekend. We'll see you next week. Take care.